Hey everyone, welcome to the Snatchy Buckles Weekly Update, your source for nerdy news from the past week, including video games, movies, television, and more. I'm Ben.
No, I'm Adam.
And we are your hosts for this show. Welcome, everyone. If you're watching this on Twitch, thank you very much for joining us and hanging out and chatting. This isn't like our normal streams because we are producing this as a show, so we won't be chatting, but Adam does have the chat open to dip in and out over the course of the stream. If you're watching this on youtube.com/snatchybuckles or via your favorite podcasting service, why not head on over to twitch.tv/snatchybuckles. Give us a follow. You can, of course, also subscribe. That supports us, supports the show, supports Snatchy Buckles, helps us out, gives you a little badge in chat, gives you a little emote, all that good stuff. You get to feel good about yourself as well. If you're an Amazon Prime member and you link your Twitch account, you can do it for free as part of your Amazon Prime monthly fee that you get for your Amazon TV, your Amazon one-day delivery, all that sort of stuff. You get extra benefits on Twitch that you might not know about. So if you're sat on YouTube or podcasts and you're like, I don't care about Twitch, I don't care about live content. I like to be able to consume my content at my own leisure. I like to pause and then come back at another time. I respect that, and that's awesome.
You can do that on Twitch, though.
Yeah, not when it's live.
Yeah, you can.
If you unpause, But I respect that, and I think that's awesome. But if you are an Amazon Prime member, you're missing out on part of your Amazon Prime stuff. Exactly. Head on over. It'll take you about a minute to make an account. You can link it to your Amazon Prime. As Adam was saying, you get free games every single month, free in-game loot for a lot of online games like PUBG and Overwatch and all that sort of stuff. You also can subscribe to a channel every single month, so you can throw that sub our way, help us out, and then exactly, and then go back to YouTube or podcast or wherever you like to listen to it, and you'll just get to hear us singing your praises while you're watching it at a later date. But yeah, I think that's that bit. I don't have a housekeeping graphic to go into actual housekeeping stuff this week because I forgot to do it. I did. I slacked. I slacked off. We normally have an actual housekeeping graphic to let you know we're going into the housekeeping section, which is just all things Snatchy Buckles. That's it. That was it. Anyone listening on the audio podcast, that was the transition to the. You're gonna have to do that every week now. But yeah, basically, first thing on housekeeping was that last week was cut short. So if you were watching live last week, basically randomly I had to get up. I had a family member show up that I wasn't expecting. It basically.
Unexpected is not the word.
Traveled from the other end of the country unexpectedly.
I remember you came in and was like, "Oh, this person's here."
I'll say it's my mum. My mum came up.
I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
because I knew she was in London.
Yeah, she lives in London, and we live at the other end of the country.
Way.
But yeah, she
my leg and
then
she walked
I opened the door and I was like, "Hello." But anyway, yeah. So we had to cut it short last week. That won't happen this week. Don't worry. I've battened down the hatches, locked the doors. No one's coming in. But no.
Are you stuck in here with me?
Maybe that or the other way around. I think you're stuck in here with me. But no. Again, just apologies for cutting it short. We got to about an hour and a half, but we were always aiming for like an hour to 2 hours. So it kind of hit the mark.
I hit that.
But there was some news we didn't do. We didn't get to go into chat if there was anything like that. Any of that sort of stuff. Another thing that I forgot to mention last week is if you're watching this on youtube.com/snatchybuckles and we start talking about a trailer or something like that and then it just cuts to afterwards, it might be because we had to cut the trailer out. That's just for copyright reasons. YouTube's it's both a lot more flexible and also not very flexible when it comes to copyright nowadays. Back in the day when I used to YouTube, as the kids say. The YouTube, exactly.
On the MySpace.
On the MySpace, yeah. It used to be like a 3-strike and you're out system. If you got copyright claims, it just takes money. If you haven't monetized your video, so if you're a smaller channel like we are, we have no presence on YouTube really. We are really just uploading it there so that you guys get to see this content at a later date.
Give you the ability to
that's it.
Be on demand.
It's just also just being in multiple places.
Yeah.
And I know that there is a lot of people
be in multiple places.
But it just means that people who don't do Twitch, because not everyone does Twitch, a lot of people are YouTube exclusive. It means they get to experience the Snatchy Buckles weekly update, get their nerdy news with us as well. But yeah, smaller channels, if you're not able to monetize, all it does is it monetizes your video and gives the money to the copyright holder.
That is sneaky as balls.
Yeah, a little bit.
You can't get monetized unless your partner.
Pretty much on which they set the bar really high nowadays. It used to be okay, and then it got lowered and lowered and lowered, and now they put it way higher up.
That is sneaky.
You have
as
to have
fuck.
like 2,000 subs and all this sort of stuff.
That is shady.
But anyway, if you are already monetized and then you put copyright content in, they take either all of or at least a portion of your monetization and give it to the copyright holder. So we got that last week. I forgot to mention this to you. Warner Brothers claimed the Aquaman trailer. which because I forgot to remove it. And I thought I'll leave it there. We aren't monetizing it anyway. Warner Brothers can have our 2 cents because no one's watching it anyway. But anyway,
not that garbage.
Moving forwards, if you're watching on Twitch, you got no problem. If you're watching on YouTube, you're gonna have stuff cut out. If you're listening via podcast, you'll still hear the trailers because I ain't cutting them out of there. They can come at me. Please don't come at me. I've just awoken the beast that is Warner Brothers, apparently.
Last year's just picked up.
We got a lot of trailers to play tonight as well, so there might be a lot of bits cut out. So we do apologize that on YouTube. But if you want to experience the show live, you can head on over to twitch.tv/SnatchyBuckles. Come and experience live with us every Thursday, 7 p.m. BST. And then you don't see anything cut out because they can't get us when it's live, pretty much. There's nothing they can do. They can't shut this broadcast down. They can't shut. I can't stop talking for effect because this is a podcast as well. People will just think the podcast ended. Down. Yeah, the lights are all going to go off. Third thing on housekeeping to mention is just to thank everyone for their feedback. We had a bit of feedback via our Discord channel. People seem to enjoy the show. They were looking forward to next week. I know I was personally really looking forward to next week.
I can't believe we closed off last week and then instantly within like a day there was more news.
There was more news to do. That's always what it's going to be, though. Even on a slow news week, there's always going to be some good news to talk about because we cover such a wide variety of things as well. There's always something to talk about. I mean, we literally towards the end of it, you covered the Aladdin poster, and then the next day the trailer dropped.
Yep, that's
which
so
I predicted.
Annoying.
It's always if they drop a trailer for if they drop a poster, they're about to drop a trailer. That's usually how it works because they want to get the poster out there so that cinemas can have it up when people go into the cinema and see the trailer on whatever film came out that weekend. Which we have some films coming up. We'll get to films later on. Film is towards the second half of the show. And I think the last thing to mention, which is very Snatchy Buckles related, people seem to be enjoying the Buckle heavy streams. For anyone that isn't familiar with our channel, we have a in-stream currency here on Twitch. You earn it just by watching, by tipping, cheering, all that sort of stuff. And you earn our in-stream currency Buckles. Now, we had a Hitman stream earlier this week. Seemed to go very well.
Chaotic.
It was very chaotic, which allows you to spend your in-stream currency to modify the game parameters and mess us up. And we've got new things in the works, which is already very much in the works, half planned or entirely. Where I don't know if you want to.
It's pretty. We might as well just.
I think you may have mentioned what game it was.
Yeah. We'll just say.
So you're gonna play
Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
However, the Buckles, are you? What are we?
I can say 100%. You're gonna be able to invert the mouse either on the Y or X or both. Who knows? Maybe it'll be 3 separate things, or maybe it'll be random. That might be a good one. Just do it random. You never know what's going to happen, and we'll maybe do it on a timer, so it happens and it's like that for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You're also going to be able to disable the HUD, so you have no access to your health, your weapon. You can hear the weapons when you scroll across them, but you can't see what weapon you're picking, and you can't see your ammo.
Right.
You can see it in your hand, but you can't see the actual
it took
physical
away
HUD.
the actual gun.
No, the gun's still there. It's not quite
That's
like
all right.
it's not like Halo, but you can't see what weapon you're picking. You can't see what ammo you've got, and it gets rid of the crosshair. It's actually it hurts a lot more. I did a quick run through and tested it, and it's really weird because when you die normally or when you take a lot of damage, the screen goes red. You don't get that effect at all. So you're like, oh, I'm fine. And you just drop to the floor. You've got no idea what's happening. So yeah, that's going to be an upcoming stream some point soon, hopefully.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next
the
week
after.
We will
Who
see.
even knows?
We will absolutely see, but that's something to look forward to within Snatchy Buckles. And the final part of housekeeping is just to remind you guys that, as I said before, we do have the chat open here on Twitch while we're recording this live. But if you have a message that you desperately want to get to us, you want us to read out, whether it be a comment, question, suggestion, or just something you want to say to us, you can, of course, tip or cheer here on Twitch. That means that we get it as like a set little message in our notifications block. And we'll read it out later in the stream and, of course, sing your praises for supporting us here on Twitch because all of that goes to supporting us and allowing us to do bigger and better things like the Snatchy Buckles weekly update. And we've got lots of plans moving forward for how we'd like to basically put the support that you give us back into streaming. But yeah, I think I don't know if there's anything else you want to add for housekeeping.
I think that's pretty much it.
I think I covered everything. I rambled my way through it because I want to get to this gaming news because I'm very excited. It's on the screen right now.
Put you off. I'm just not
you're
gonna let it.
You're not going to let it go. Well, we're going to jump over into gaming news now, guys. So yeah, let's go. And into gaming news we go, kicking us off. The most exciting thing, it dropped at 3 o'clock in the UK today. I think it was 10 a.m. Pacific time, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I got that wrong.
I feel like I saw it earlier.
It dropped bang on 3 o'clock. Because I literally waited for it to come out so I could add the link to our Trello board.
Maybe I accidentally, well, not accidentally. Maybe I opened my phone bang on 3.
You might have opened a bang on 3 o'clock.
I vaguely remember seeing it earlier this morning.
But it was maybe, I know there was a lot of posts that it was coming.
Maybe, yeah.
Because they tweeted about it. But, sorry, what we're talking about, Red Dead Redemption.
Mickey's Adventures 2.
As everyone's sick of hearing me say in the streams all this week.
What's coming, Ben?
Red Dead Redemption 2 is
Half-Life
launching. No, Valve don't know how to count to 3.
Half-Life 4.
No, Valve are just going to keep polishing and re-releasing the games that they've already done. We'll get to that maybe later on. But Red Dead Redemption 2 is releasing next Friday, the 26th of October, and they've just dropped, but today they dropped the launch trailer, and I haven't watched it yet. I don't think you've watched it yet.
I've not watched it. I tend to not watch trailers now because I know 90% of them
That's
are
true.
gonna be here.
Yeah, that is very true. So, why don't we watch it? You need to unmute it, and then I think we're good to go.
Yep, you are going to need to put
I'm
that
gonna
on
need
the
to
big
I'm gonna need to swap it over. Let's go big screen, guys, which is this one.
One more big score. We got enough money to leave. What do you think?
I'm excited already.
I can't wait for the music.
I would kill for it. I would happily die for
The fact that you can rob trains. If I can ride along a pack of horses and
Just
rob a train.
willy-nilly rob a train, not even part of a story mission.
Yeah,
Trust me.
there's just a train riding along and it's
Just
mine
one
now.
more. As always, a goddamn train.
It looks so good as well. Like graphically, it
The
looks
main
so
character
impressive.
looks like it's based off someone as well, but I can't.
It probably
place
will
it.
be. They often use
Just you.
the voice actors as the actual like looking at Stephen Ogden plays Trevor.
What about loyalty?
That's John Marsden. We got to hear him for the first time.
And see him.
Yeah. Well, we've seen a few pictures of him because he's got like the long hair. But we got to hear him for the first time, so they've definitely got.
Coming October 26th.
They've definitely got the same voice.
Imagine if
actor
they
back.
changed the release date. Maybe imagine if that was a big
That was
troll
how
in
they
the
did it. They dropped it and they're like, "That's coming next year now." Well, because they've delayed it twice now. It was supposed to come out like this time last year, and then they said, and then last year they announced it was coming spring. Let me just knock this into the smaller view. There we go. It said it was going to be coming spring 2018, and then when it came closer and closer to spring, they said, "Okay,
Yeah, I
it's coming
remember because it
October."
was going to come out near my birthday in
Yeah.
spring. Was the theory?
It's usually because it would have matched up with I think one of the GDA. I think it was GDA on PS4 and Xbox One released around April time, which is what I was expecting because that's also my birthday too. Because our birthdays are like a few weeks apart.
2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, about 2 weeks apart. So right now we've got some of the older trailers playing through while we go through some news because there has actually been a bit of controversy over Red Dead Redemption 2 this week.
That and a lot of news has come out about it.
A lot of news, which is to be expected with the release.
But we've got the review embargo lifted
Next Thursday, we'll be picking over those in the Snatchy Buckles weekly update next week. We'll be going over the actual reviews from different sources, hopefully avoiding some spoilers.
We'll go now. IGN score.
IGN
What do you
score.
think IGN score? We're going to either do IGN
How
score.
do IGN do solid numbers? Or
No, they do points.
They do points.
We'll either do IGN score or Metacritic.
I'll go IGN, and I'm gonna outright say 9.5.
9.5.
GTA 5, I think, was a 9.7, and GTA 4, I think, was a 10. I think it was the first game they gave a 10 to, or something along that. I could be wrong with that. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they gave it was their first 10. I think this is gonna, and I think Red Dead Redemption 1 was a 9 point something. I'm gonna go 9.5.
I'm going to go 10.
You're gonna just go bang
I think
on
it's
10.
going
You
to
think
be.
they're gonna?
I think because the world is going to be that much more improved than 1,
That's true.
and they're going to nail it.
I hope they do. It looks like they're gonna nail it. I'm very excited. I think a lot of people are very
That man
excited.
looked like Genghis Khan.
He did. Genghis Khan. Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
I butchered his name.
Hey, I knew what you meant.
He's my dad somewhere down the line.
Yeah. Probably, I think aren't we all? It's everyone's like great grandfather. But yeah, some actual actually some good stuff came out. There was an article with Vulture. There was an interview with Dan Houser. And then he called him Dan Harmon there. Different person. Dan Houser, one of the brothers that started Rockstar Games. It was Sam and Dan Houser. They don't very often do interviews at all. Like they're quite kind of the whole studio is quite reclusive.
Yeah, you'd never really hear anything about it.
Well,
Rockstar never go anywhere either.
They work on these things. This game has been 7 years in the making. So they just work, and that's the work is what we'll get to in a minute. But he basically went through all the stuff. It's a 60-hour campaign. It was 65, but in the last kind of month of development, they stripped 5 hours out of it.
Oh, I hope that's not going to be added as DLC. It's actually just tightened the story
well, apparently
a
there
bit.
was a second love interest for like the entirety of development until maybe like 3 months
shoot her in the
before
head
release.
straight away. Should be gone.
It was a big story
I
plot
don't have
element.
time to be doing 2 people.
There was a big story plot, and they just removed her within the last like 3 months. They were just like, it's not polished enough. We're not happy with it, so they just took it out. And that was about 5 hours worth of content. But the other things that came out from Dan Houser's interview, there was 2,200 days of motion capture work has been captured for this. That's how many days they spent recording motion capture. To put in context, GTA 3 spent 5 days doing motion capture. This is 3, so this is going back to PS2 days, but still, it took 5 days of motion capture. I didn't even know they did motion capture back then, if I'm honest. But I guess certain animations, it's easier to just do a simple little motion capture. But yeah, they did 5 days of motion capture. Then this was 2,200 days. That's a lot of motion capture.
Everybody is motion capture.
Andy Serkis must be so tired. I'm not saying he's actually tight. He's got no relation to this at all. But I hear motion capture.
You can guarantee that they got his motion capture studio to shoot the whole thing.
Well, we've got
to look into it, and I can guarantee it will. I would put my life on it.
We've got a family movie later on to actually a trailer, and it's Andy Serkis' son in it. I don't believe that he's got a son. I think it's just Andy Serkis.
I think Andy Serkis de-aged in a motion capture. Yeah. And all he's doing is just put his shoes on his knees like he used to, and just tape them around. And he's doing that.
This game has 1,200 actors involved. 700 of those actors have dialogue. How did they manage
to keep it that quiet? If you think about it, that's 1,000 people. That's 1,000
that's
possible
a lot
leaks.
of airtight NDAs, is what that is.
That's if you break this NDA, you're getting killed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fine.
They're putting a hit out on you. But yeah, 700 of those actors have dialogue in the game. So that's not just like one guy. This isn't like Elder Scrolls where they like Oblivion had like 7 people do the dialogue for the entire game.
They just put a bit more.
Did you see that? This is from years and years ago now. I only saw it the other day. Did you ever see the Elder Scrolls Oblivion dialogue where they messed up and left it in the game? There's a person you can go and speak to, and she reads a line of dialogue, and then she goes, "Oh, wait a minute, can I take that again?" And then she reads the line of dialogue again. The subtitles don't reflect this at all. And they just left the dialogue in by accident that she actually does a second take on her lines. I only saw it the other day and I was like, Jesus, like that's weird. But yeah, I guess people would have seen this years ago. You can Google it though. Oblivion, I guess, voiceover error.
I loved Oblivion.
Oblivion was such a good game. I played so much of that, both on PC and 360. Back with that Horse Armor DLC.
The only thing I wanted was potion making like Morrowind.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I remember
Morrowind was
such a good
game.
And then just leap into that giant mushroom because you can make potions
from
the get-go.
Just straight from the beginning. There are 300,000 animations in the game. I'm assuming this is something to do with that
snakes.
220,000. Yeah, it's all. Again, that was Andy Serkis just going to town.
Benedict Cumberbatch has been a dragon.
Like have you seen the video when he's like
on
crawling?
His knees and whatnot, crawling towards the camera?
There are 500,000 lines of dialogue in the game.
I've seen stuff about that. I think you've got it here.
I might have it there.
Yeah, you have. But the NPCs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have
80 page. Like, it's not even like that's all NPCs. I'm sure I read a point that each NPC.
That's what it is. Yeah,
has 80 pages.
I didn't add each on there, but yeah, every NPC. Oh no, I imagine it's an average. There'll probably be some that have 70 and some that have 90. But yeah, on average, the NPCs have 90-page scripts themselves. The overall story is a 2,000-page script. Apparently, stacking it on A4 sheets of paper. I didn't have this noted, but I believe it was like 8.5 feet tall. So taller than this room. Because I'm 6'7", and like I can touch the ceiling quite easily. So actually, it's probably about the height of the room.
Yeah, possibly.
But yeah, which just from my knowledge, because I studied film and stuff in college, film scripts are on average 120 pages. This is 2,000 pages. That explains why it's a 60-hour game.
And it also explains why it's like a 90 gig download.
Exactly. Is it 94, 91,
roughly
94?
Around that.
Oh, that's
point.
on PlayStation. I think it's roughly around the same on Xbox.
Just to take back to that trailer.
For a moment. I got excited.
Did you notice that they were all using cents to bet?
Yes, I have noticed that. This is the trailers it's playing now. That's the thing that I think is most interesting. I think I've discussed this with you, that the online is going to be the most interesting because the currency isn't going to be like, I just did a job and I got 20 grand. It's going to be like, I just did a job and I got $1. Like, because that's a big amount of money.
Yeah.
I can go buy a gun for $1. So it's going to be interesting when microtransactions come into it because you're going to be spending.
I think they're going to go down the route because it's inevitable that they're going to come in.
Oh,
they're going to
be
premium currency. They're not going to give you money. It'll be a premium currency that you like.
I think that people will be fine with it just being money. That's what they did with GDA. Like, shark cards just gave you money. It'll just be that you spend $100 and you just get $100 in game. Because that's a lot of money.
I guess it
in-game.
depends. We're going to have to wait and see the
We'll
economy.
have to wait and see. We haven't even seen any of the online portion of it. We heard rumors, we've heard rumblings. We just need to see it
Was
first.
that man riding a pony?
I think he was, because there's a whole variety of horses, all the different breeds that's in the game. Isn't there like 120 species of animal in the game or something?
Something along them.
A lot of them will be fit. At least I'd probably imagine about 40 of those are probably fish.
Will they swim away from you when you get close?
I mean, we can only hope it is next gen. It is next gen. But yeah, the big thing that came from the Vulture article was that employees were working 100-hour weeks. Dan Houser doesn't drop this into conversation, and the internet lost their minds, which understandably from the way it was put, because no one wants to hear that people are being overworked to the point of working. What's the average working week? 45 hours, 40 hours,
37.
37 is that the average? Is that the average? Okay. I've rounded up a bit, but yes. So we say 37 hours. So yeah, if people,
I think 40-hour week. So that
a lot of people see
37 is with your breaks taken off.
Yeah, okay.
So it's probably about 42-ish.
So yeah, I think that was including breaks. So yeah, so people at Rockstar have apparently been working 100-hour weeks, which people lost their minds at. It's come out now. Like Dan Houser then went back over it because he just said it as an offhanded comment. He didn't think it was a big deal because it's not. He basically then came out and said that it's during crunch. So then people continue to lose their minds, saying that crunch shouldn't be this. Crunch has been this way for years.
Crunch is always going to be that.
Anyone that doesn't know what crunch is, it's in a lot of different industries, but the games industry very much so. It's in the last kind of month or so of development. Sometimes you do crunch a couple of times, but most of the time it's in the last portion of development.
The final part.
It's the last push. It's the last push.
Yeah.
You've got all these last things to polish. People are working overtime. They're doing all this. It's crunch. You all pull together and you all do way more hours than you need to do, and you get it done. So he came out and basically said it was during crunch, which he thought was more than understandable. Then he had to clarify. I don't know if he clarified or someone else clarified again. It was just the writing team that he was really speaking of, because that's the team that he's part of. So it was basically the executives.
Of course they are. It's a fucking 2,000-page script.
So and this is in the last, because the writing team don't just write it, they then also edit it all. They pick the best lines of dialogue. They go through every single element of the story, and they all the way up until the last week of development, they're still doing stuff.
I
They
would
don't just finish
imagine
and go
they
home.
are like also looking after voice actors and stuff.
Yeah.
Like seeing that the lines are being recorded, how they're imagining.
They will be dealing with it their way. And then the guys that are part of the core writing team have been working together for like 12 plus years at this point. It's like Dan Houser. I don't have the names of the other guys here. I know Laszlo, which people probably know Laszlo better as being a personality within the Grand Theft Auto universe.
Yeah.
He's a radio DJ who then appeared in GTA 5. Laszlo is also a writer on Red Dead Redemption 2. And I think he was a writer on GTA 5 as well. He's a big part of the Rockstar Games development process. But yeah, the writers were working 100-hour weeks. And then some other staff have now come out and explained that it was 3 weeks. 3 weeks out of the crunch.
My thing is that there's no issue with people like these big CEOs doing 100-hour weeks.
No.
Or people that do their job like that do 100-hour weeks for like 6 months of the year, and then the rest of this year they do fuck all.
Yeah, you do get a lot of jobs that do that.
As soon as RDR2 comes out and they will finish that, they could ease off.
Oh yeah,
They can maybe do like
they will, big time.
3 weeks off where they don't take holiday,
No.
they don't lose pay because they've done 100-hour weeks.
A lot of the criticism is that within the industry, a lot of people feel like if, say, a CEO is doing a 100-hour week, that sometimes people who are working under them feel like they have to do it. No, it's that whole thing of you don't necessarily want to go home before the boss because it makes you look bad. That's not every industry is like that, but I do understand that part of it. But yeah, it's come out. A lot of the staff have also now spoken about it and said that they sometimes they'll work 60-hour weeks during crunch. Not all of them were working 100 hours. It was pretty much the
There was
writing
probably
team.
one guy that was just smashing in
Probably
100
Dan
hour
Houser.
weeks.
But no, so yeah, it's only a few of them. It was over the course of 3 weeks during crunch. It's the last push. They also get compensated very much for this. One of the guys that I
Probably
read,
a lot.
yeah, one of the guys said that he would sometimes work an extra 8 hours over the course of an entire week.
Yeah.
So he would be putting in an extra hour here, an extra couple hours here. But up until 8 hours, you get paid time and a half. And then after 8 hours, you get paid 2 times. So you get compensated quite well if you're doing that extra overtime. But he also...
if you get time and a half up to 8 hours,
he's getting good salary, basically.
that's an extra day's work. So
Yeah.
this 100-hour week could very quickly become,
Suddenly,
I'm
I have
doing-
money for a holiday.
I'm doing 7 days a week.
Yeah.
So straight off the bat, that Saturday that you work is going to be time and a half,
Yep.
and that's it done out the way. Your Sunday is then double time, and then you stay back each day.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say that they're not, like, I know where I work, you get more money on the weekends.
Yes.
There's nothing to say that that's not the case. That they will be compensated very well.
Yeah.
Just look at the money that Rockstar makes.
Oh, Rockstar makes an insane amount of money. I can't remember what the actual figure is, but I think GTA 5 is like I think is it like a £2 billion game or $4 billion that it's made in its life. And you can maybe Google this, do a fact check how much money, because I think it's like the third highest grossing video game of all time behind like Tetris or
GTA
something.
5 or just in general?
GTA 5. That's the one that's made a lot of money. Because I know a lot of people that didn't even that play GTA 5 and live and breathe and die by GTA 5. And then you go, oh, did you play San Andreas? And they're like, oh, no, I didn't play GTA until GTA 5. And it's like...
$6 billion.
$6 billion is how much it's made. And one was that was from April this year.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's a lot of money. A lot of bucks. A lot of clams.
And then they're going to do that exactly all over again.
They are going to do
Red
it again.
Dead Redemption.
Absolutely, because the first game had such a strong following. So then to follow GTA 5 with this was the smartest decision they could have made. But no, the biggest thing with the 100-hour week, the 100-hour week thing. One of the guys came out and said that that it was pretty much just some of the senior writing staff that did it. Most people don't do that, and the biggest point he said was they never felt pressure to do overtime. The overtime was there during crunch. They might not necessarily encourage it, but Rockstar were very clear that like if you need to do it.
The option to do it now.
Yes, they basically say, because obviously no company wants to encourage you to do overtime all the time. It's going to cost the company a fortune.
Exactly.
Because some guy who is just like, doesn't have a family or something.
I would be doing. If I got paid that amount of money,
if you
stay
just be like, okay, love,
I'm
not going to see you for the next couple of weeks, but I'm going to make 3 times my salary for the next month.
Yeah, it makes
exactly.
absolute sense. No one in their right mind would turn that down.
Exactly. So no company's going to do that all the time. But during crunch, Rockstar obviously pay overtime for it. But he said that they never ever felt like they had to do it. It was just the option was there because they're also very passionate about it. They want to get this game out. It's a game that all the developers are very obviously passionate and happy with. They've been working on it for 7 years. So yeah, I think I understand where the controversy came from. I'm glad that by the time we've done this, all of the news is out now and we're able to kind of sit back and pick through it and go, okay, this is actually how the story went. But yeah, so I think I've got one more Red Dead Redemption thing, which is just a small one. A picture of the game box has surfaced in, I believe it was Japan. I think you've got the article there. It might actually have the picture. I think it was from a tweet. I don't know if that website starts playing stuff automatically, just so you're aware. Yes, it does.
No more.
But yeah, I think there might be a picture somewhere on that tweet. But basically, the box surfaced in, I think it's Japan, and it basically indicates that there are 2 discs in the game.
It's understandable.
The size of it.
If it's 90 gig download for digital games,
I mean, how big are average Blu-rays? Is it like a 45?
45, I think.
45 gig on a disc. I know you can get bigger Blu-rays. You go way up there, and you can
get 120, can't
you?
You
can get like 120.
But that's going to start increasing the price of the game.
That's it. So it's cheaper for them to produce 2 cheaper discs than it is to do it the other way. But yeah, basically that was the final. It might come on 2 discs. It doesn't surprise me. Didn't GTA 5 come on 2 discs originally on the 360?
I believe so.
The only physical copy I owned was for the 360, and that was because I got the collector's edition.
I think it did.
And yeah, I think it came on. There was an install disc and there was a play disc. And
yes,
then you never
it was. You never touched the install. It'll probably be the same thing.
I imagine it'll be exactly the same. I can't imagine they're going to go back to PlayStation 1 Final Fantasy 7 routes where you change the disc as you progress through the game.
I am.
Is that how you're going to actively want to play it?
Yeah.
You're going to be playing it digitally. You're not going to have to deal with discs in the slightest. And I think a lot of people out there aren't because the actual preload went up. It goes up tomorrow. It's already up.
It goes up Friday wherever you are.
Whatever time zone you're in, because New Zealand's already got it. They've confirmed what size it is, at least for PlayStation. I don't know about Xbox, but PlayStation preload is now available because it is a 90 gig download. A lot of people have data caps and data restrictions depending on what part of the world you're in. Get that download started now if you're planning on playing next Friday. Because I know that if I still had the internet here than when I first moved in, if I set it away now, I probably wouldn't be done for next Friday.
I think you would. I think you're putting it in rest mode, you would get done.
If it was running 24 hours a day, I would have to stop it every time it was streamed. But yeah, anyway, that is the end.
My internet's going to be able to handle it.
Oh yeah, yours will be fine. If not, just come and plug it in here.
I'm sure. Yeah,
yours will handle it fine.
We'll
set it away this weekend, so it'll be done in plenty of time. But yeah, that's the end of the Red Dead Redemption news for this week. Everyone that doesn't care about Red Dead Redemption will be very happy.
You can finally shut the fuck up.
I can shut up about Red Dead Redemption until next week when I will continue to talk about, especially because my streams next week, at least one of them is going to be finishing off Red Dead Redemption 1, ready for Red Dead Redemption 2, which I might also stream from midnight on Friday.
You are a madman. Your heart's going to give out.
I think it might. I'm not sure how. I'm trying to weigh the pros and cons of the health implications because I am at work on the Thursday, and then we have the Snatchy Buckles weekly update. So that gives. I could finish.
Don't
the Snatchy,
do it at midnight. Have a nap. Wake up.
Start at early hours. I could start early hours. That's true. I could do that. We'll see. I'll see how I feel on the day.
I'm still debating whether
to take the day. Whether or not you're dying there. Adam's dying. The next bit of news for everyone. I think I don't need this little
you don't.
screen anymore because it's just sitting on the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer because we watched through all of them there. is the PlayStation 4 more controversy. Which turn again, I really like that we do this later in the week because it means that as much as it would be fun to to present the news every day as it comes,
We have full-time jobs and it
exactly
is not viable.
exactly. But if you guys want to support us here on Twitch, as I said, tips, cheers, donations, subs, that all helps us. We could start doing this every day of the week if it came to that.
You want to see our beardy faces
Exactly,
every day.
every single day. Hey, I got a stylish new hair going on now. I'm quite happy. I haven't got a horrible mop anymore. Exactly. But yeah,
Mine's getting there. I need mine done.
I'll
get the same.
compared to what I was.
Oh yeah, compared to
saying.
yours,
Yeah,
but this is bad for me.
the face you made when you went compared to yours.
I will plait your hair next time.
But yeah,
On
so
stream.
PlayStation 4 had some controversy because there was an apparent message going around that was able to brick consoles.
Yeah, I think this comes around like
I've seen things of this.
6 months or so.
Yeah.
It's always made more worse than it
I'm curious
actually
how
is.
it works. Was it that they were just using an unallowed Unicode character?
What it is
I saw the
I looked into it. What it is it reserves like 128 bytes for the message.
Right, okay.
As soon as you start using Unicode and emojis,
It increases it, and that's what it was doing.
it like completely messes it.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I feel like PlayStation should have fixed that at this point, but never mind. I understand that they're not going to be able to account for every single thing, and it's as soon as you start allowing people to send messages from mobile phones when you can add things like Unicode in, that's when it gets...
where it started.
That'll have been where it started, exactly. Someone will have done it by accident, and then someone will have realized they can maliciously use it.
Yeah.
But yes, so it started out as that. It was apparently bricking. PlayStation came out. They said that they're working on a fix. They then came out. I'm just going to run through the news as it happened. They said that they're working on a fix. They then came out and said that the issue doesn't exist anymore. They fixed it on their end. And on top of that, it wasn't actually bricking consoles. It was sending them into... it was just a power cycle loop, wasn't it? It just kept restarting.
Yeah, it was a boot loop. So
boot loop. That's
every time you would start it, it would just close itself down.
Yes. I've had my PlayStation do that before anyway, when I've unplugged it and plugged it back in without, when you has to rebuild the database.
Mine does it every single time now. Like, I don't know why my PlayStation
Do you think it's
does
anything to do with the new hard drive? Because you replaced your hard
No,
drive?
I think it did it before then.
Oh, okay.
If I'm honest, I think it's because of the thing that we have set up.
Oh, you think that might actually have something to do with it?
But-
See, mine don't do it at all. Maybe I'll see once we've got Red Dead Redemption.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, anyway. But yes, they've basically said, no, it's fixed. You don't have to worry about this anymore. The point of you hearing this news, there's no worry anymore. And there wasn't ever, because PlayStation support came out and said that it was something that could be fixed in less than 5 minutes.
I think they also said that rebuilding the database fixed it straight away.
Yeah, that was actually the solution to it. I think actually all you had to do was hold the power button down on it.
Yeah, go to
turn it
safe
off.
mode.
Yeah, and then just boot it back up and it was fine. It didn't brick it. You didn't lose anything. I think just the initial people that it happened to panicked and ended up just like factory resetting their consoles.
I remember when my Xbox bricked due to my Xbox 360 bricked due to an update.
Yeah.
And that fully wiped. I lost everything.
Jeez.
And bear in mind, you've seen my Xbox profile.
Yeah.
I
was a
was
lot of games.
Angry as balls.
I can imagine. But nowadays we've got the cloud. You don't have to worry about that as much.
That's true.
So they've solved that with the cloud. Next on the docket for gaming news, I'm not trying to race through this, but we've got a lot of stuff to cover. The more information about the Marvel Spider-Man on PlayStation 4 DLC has dropped. There is a trailer to go with. The trailer actually came out at the start of September, but we'll play that anyway in the little view. Once you've got that up, I'll switch it over. But yeah, they basically just detailed what's happening with the heist, because that DLC actually comes out next week. It's actually a little cheaper than I thought. We talked about this on stream. It is actually a little cheaper. I've got the price listed in here, I believe. You want me just to switch it over to...
Let's give this trailer.
We'll just... do we want to actually watch the trailer properly? Or no, we'll just leave it at the bottom. So basically, obviously the new DLC is covering Black Cat.
She's in the game. Well, she's not in the game, but...
Her voice is in the game.
Her voice is in the game, and her setup's there for the...
Yeah.
Pretty
much.
The story.
Yeah, and it does. Though, if you... I don't want to give spoilers for anyone who hasn't finished Spider-Man yet, but basically there's a setup at the end of doing the side. It's more just collectibles than really a side mission. But
yeah, it's collectibles.
The end of the Black Cat collectibles really just outright sets up like, oh, there's something bigger going on in the story, and this DLC is what that is.
I imagine they're all going to tie in as well.
They've said that The City Never Sleeps is a 3-part arc, and the story continues. They are a separate story than the base game. Obviously, this one was set up in the base game, but they don't spoil anything in the base game. The base game's its own thing, but these are 3 parts of one story. They will all be their own self-contained, so that you're not going to be left blue-balled but you will absolutely you pick up in.
You'll see a thread that runs through
exactly.
everything.
There is a
and
full
then ties
arc
at
that
the
goes
end.
across the whole thing. So Turf Wars will pick up where the heist left off. The heist dropping on October 23rd, which I think is
Tuesday.
Tuesday, yes. But yeah, it's also adding some new suits, which is quite exciting. I'm just going to show this thing. Are you going to pull the suits up? You are indeed. Perfect. Just drop the flicker in. That doesn't matter. Let me just go. I'll go big view for this so we can actually see it. So these are the 3 new suits which come with it, which is the Resilient suit, the Scarlet Spider 2, and the Spider UK suit. I think the Resilient suit is another original, because I think it might have been designed by the same guy that designed the Velocity suit, because that was an original for the game.
Was that really?
There's a couple that are original. Obviously, the Advanced suit was original, and then there's obviously a lot of them are based on comic ones. But I believe the Resilient suit is by the same designer. I could be wrong, but yeah, I think it's a new one. But Scarlet Spider 2 is obviously based on the Scarlet Spider comic line, and Spider UK is based on he's a Spider-Man
Spider-Verse.
From the Spider-Verse, yeah. It's an interconnecting story that's going to play through all of them. I already covered that. It's going to add new crimes, new challenges, and new trophies, as you'd expect. But that's great that they're also dropping
I'm wondering if the new trophies on New Game Plus. I think New Game Plus might be dropping with. I don't know.
New Game Plus dropped today.
Did it drop today?
It dropped today. So it's out now. I was very tempted when I got home to go and just boot it up and start playing, and then I was like, nope, I'm going to go get my haircut instead.
Responsible
adult, exactly. But I think I'm wondering if the new challenges are going to be like an entirely new type of challenge, or if we're going to get more Taskmaster.
I don't want more Taskmaster.
I can't say that. The first time I've said it right was right there. Yes.
As much as they are fun,
yeah.
they're a ball.
They are admittedly, I think probably one of the most. Other than the, I've already forgotten the name of them, but the agents that come in
Sable Agents.
The Sable Agents. Other than the Sable Agents, the Taskmaster challenges are the hardest part of the game.
Yep, definitely. Especially if you accidentally fuck up like I did and spend all of your challenge tokens and have to go back through and do more.
That's it. Got to do more of them. But yeah, no, that's exciting. So that's out next week. It is available. They are going to be. I haven't got I don't think in the UK I haven't been able to find where to get them individually. It's $10 each. Or you can buy them all at once for $24.99.
You can get them on the PlayStation Store.
I went on the PlayStation Store to have a look, and it only listed them as the City That Never Sleeps pack. It didn't list them individually.
Maybe it's going to do it once it pops out.
Well, the City That Never Sleeps pack is actually considerably cheaper than I would have expected. It's actually $15.99.
That is not bad.
£16 for 3 chapters.
That's £5.
That's cheaper than most season passes.
Yeah,
so that's actually not bad at all. So yeah, it is. It's £5 a piece. I imagine if they release them separately, they'll probably be about $7.99 a piece. So this is saving you kind of a $5.
I just want them to be a decent length. Before I buy it,
I want to see the length.
I want to see the length, unless it's going to be one of them things where it's like TS 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. They say it's the same length as not the same length, but the same quality.
They said it's the same quality, yeah.
But that quality could maybe only last half an hour.
It could, yeah. I mean, even if it's 2 hours, that's still not bad as long as it adds enough extra crimes and challenges and things to do in the city as well. Because that also adds a lot of extra time to the game.
Yes,
you know yourself, you finished the story weeks and weeks and weeks ago, but you've only just 100%ed it in the past week because it gives you so much extra to do. We've got a friend David that went to EGX with us. He's busy playing through it, and he is maybe a third of the way through the story right now because
the story is a surprisingly good length.
It's about a 10-hour play. I think 10 hours if you just actively do the story, including obviously the cutscenes do take up a lot of that, but they are phenomenal cutscenes. The
worst part is the stupid MJ parts.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those. I didn't mind the Miles parts, but yeah, the MJ parts I'm not as big a fan. There was one of them that I didn't mind. I think you agreed.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it anyway. But yeah, he's playing through, but he's doing it where as soon as any form of collectible or a crime or anything pops up, he goes and does all of those. So he's 100% in the game as he plays through the story. So he's making the game last like 3 times as long.
I started doing that method.
I did,
and then I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna
I got about halfway through the story, and I was like, I just want to finish the story at this point because it was a good story. It was just you hit a certain point in the story, and you're. The first time, I already said you play as Miles. The first time you play as Miles, I think I hit that point in the story, and I was like, no, I need to see how this all finishes now. Like, that was a big turning point. But yeah, so that's the City That Never Sleeps.
What do we think the next DLCs is? Look at them pictures. They're slightly blurred out.
They look like people, though.
That's definitely Spider-Man on the right with something.
Maybe Silver Sable?
It might be
Silver Sable. Because it's Silver Liner. It makes me think Silver Sable, but I don't know. They already had her as a somewhat prominent character in the game, although you never really, fought her. I'm touching spoiler territory, but I'm not really giving any story elements.
Turf War, I just cannot see what it is. It looks like it might be Sable Agents because that looks like a ship.
It does. Overall, if I actually just look at it, it looks like a it looks like a Sable agent right there. Like the bright bit at the top is his head, and then you got his shoulders. Like it could just be a blurred picture of a Sable agent. I don't know, but
see the way I'm looking at it is lights at the top is a spaceship.
Oh, okay, I see that. If I hear Turf War, it just makes me think, oh, they're going to do more Kingpin or another kind of ground person.
Yeah.
But no, we'll find out probably late October because it's going to drop during November.
Late October.
The final one in December.
Oh yeah.
It's nearly late October now, but I feel like we'll get this DLC, we'll get a week, and then they'll drop the trailer for the next one.
I feel like a lot more games are doing that.
Yeah.
Like they're
trying to
slowly releasing their content, and then as one
yeah
pretty much finishes their marketing campaign and comes out, the next one's already starting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, which is good. It keeps you coming back to the game. I've been enjoying playing some Forza Horizon 4 lately, just because of the way they do their content, where the seasons actually become a physical real-time week. So, for example, it's just turned spring in the game. For me to get to summer, I need to wait till next Thursday. And each season brings new challenges that pop up on the map, as well as certain challenges that are only available during certain seasons.
Yeah.
You have to wait for them to come round. And obviously, if you're during winter, for example, I actively went and bought cars and had snow tires for all of my off-road vehicles, because otherwise it was a nightmare to drive. And that's actually a thing. You can get chains on your wheels and all that sort of stuff. It's actually very cool. But I love the way that the content is slowly rolling out. New challenges
It seems
every
to be
week.
like Destiny was really bad for it. Like
Yeah.
they would just go, here's your DLC,
Here's
and
everything.
that's it done.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I know you've dropped off a little bit.
I need to go back at some point.
I've been playing. There's a new event. The
There's
DLC.
a Halloween event or
It's a
something.
Halloween
Yeah.
event, but also the whole storyline of the end zone
Mhm.
is, even though they're doing a loop, so it's on
Yeah.
a loop every 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The story's still continuing, where it's like evolving the lore and actually going, right, this is why it's happening. How's it happening?
And that's a good
whatnot.
way of doing it. You know who I think that everyone's been inspired by, and they should have really been inspired themselves with their most recent title. I think Blizzard, for me, set that tone especially with Legion, but they even did it with earlier expansions where they released the expansion. Legion was the best one for it. They released the expansion, but then we were still getting content nearly a year later.
Yep.
They were still
They
releasing
nailed
not
that
just
release
little content,
content.
like new regions were being added, like when the ship came into it and you went all to Argus and all sorts of stuff. That was a lot of content that was being added like a long time after you bought that DLC
And
or
then
expansion.
Battle for Azeroth,
And they've kind of ruined it a
back
bit.
into the
We
ground.
never jumped on Battle for Azeroth, and at the
glad.
time it was financial reasons. It was just like, I can't justify paying a subscription and having to upgrade at the same time.
buying the
One
game.
or the other would be, if you got the expansion for free and you just had to pay a subscription, I probably would have done it. But having to do both at the same time, it made it too much at the time. But I'm glad I didn't, because the feedback that's coming back about it is that they've really messed up big time with the end game.
They've made it far too much of a
They've made
grind.
it a
They've went
grind.
from a good grind to an absolute ball ache.
Yeah. But anyway, that's enough about World of Warcraft. We don't have any news about World of Warcraft, so we won't cover any more of that. But the next bit of news we have is quite an interesting one. Links into our stream from Tuesday. There is the first elusive target for Hitman 2 has been revealed. Is there a video there? There is a video there. Does it have audio? I don't think we need the audio. Although
It's
you
a
haven't seen
talent
this, have
of
you?
sorts, I suppose.
There we go. It doesn't
I
play.
never expected to be like this.
Let's switch it over. We'll
They keep
play
trying
through.
to kill me.
Sean Bean
you know?
is the first
I've
target.
cheated
Imagine if
death
you don't kill
countless
Sean Bean, how
times.
bad you'll feel.
Well, that's the meme.
I'm
He
like
is
a
known as
stage
the
magician.
Undying because everybody thinks they've killed
know
him
all
and
the
haven't
tricks.
actually killed him. He even referenced, he's like,
They think they're
content
clever.
of this, and he's
But
playing
they're nothing on
to
me.
his own meme.
I even managed to make him think I'd been blown up.
Exactly. Like,
I've always had a knack for explosives. Take that toy over there. It could make a blinding weapon.
so these are the three weapons
Doesn't
that you're now
even
able
need to be
vote
that
on
complicated.
To be in Hitman 2.
There's always things lying around.
They are all concealable ones. So
It's
that's a
easy, you know?
garrote that looks like headphones. You
But you
You've
can
got to be
always.
creative with the things at
The
hand.
garrote's always
Oh, yeah,
never
people
People don't
detected.
notice the small
Maybe
things.
the garrote's the
That's the
person in it.
beauty of it.
That pen, though,
It's an explosive.
Look at that.
It's
Time's
fantastic.
up.
I don't think they'll be killable. I think they won't be like they feel like
I
they'll
hope
be
you've enjoyed it as much as I
distraction.
have.
Obviously, the garrote will be.
No, I think
It's
they can
been
all
good
kill because
too.
I think the
Unlocked.
pen is a full-on explosive. I think the robot is a flashbang, but you can just obviously walk
Now
past
you're
security
watching.
with them. Oh, maybe the headphone. Maybe
Still
no,
not sent your best, eh?
There we go.
Guess I'll see you in Miami.
Then it means Miami is one of the locations.
Well, Miami is the location that we played. Was it not? Or was it not the raceway in Miami? Is that not?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
So yeah, these are the three things you don't know.
Concealed grot, yeah.
Yeah, it's concealed. I'm wondering if it means you can literally walk around with it in your hand. Maybe garrots you can't walk around in your hand anymore.
Maybe they've actually made them get detected by security scanners and whatnot.
Which would make sense because you really shouldn't walk around with cheese wire in your pocket, essentially. But yeah, headphones would make sense. I'm assuming the idea will be that they're like reinforced headphones. You got that braided cable. You're gonna go to town with it.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's the three different things. It's gonna be Miami. It's gonna be available for 10 days, and he's gonna pop up in the game on the 20th of November, which is about a week after launch.
I can't wait for it.
It's so exciting.
I dropped off the elusive targets.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't
picked up late.
Yeah, you got it like toward the end of the actual episodic cycle, but then they still cycled them around again. But it was still it was a hard calendar to follow at that point. I did them as they were launching, and then I fell off them.
I like this thing where if you fuck up,
it's done.
That's done.
And I've done it multiple times, and it's so upsetting because I've done it where I'll think I've done it all right, and then I'll go to kill them, and then there's one thing I forgot, like I'm not wearing the right outfit, or I thought I was wearing the right outfit, and it's like, all right, done. That's it, done. Can't do it until it comes back around again in like 8 months' time.
Elusive target, but stream.
We could absolutely do elusive targets for stream because they last for 10 days as well, so we'll have a window for it. Well, with Buggles, we're never going to complete an elusive target. I know we're doing this on your account then.
No,
we're gonna set it. We're gonna have to buy the game again on a Snatchy Buggles account.
How brutal would it be?
It would be just so intense. But yeah, so the three weapons is the robot, the headphones, and the pen. But yeah, so because the game comes out on the
13th of November.
It does because it's a Tuesday,
because it's a Tuesday, so
perfect for stream day.
It would be.
But yeah, so then this comes out on the 20th, which is it's exactly a week later. So yeah, that's Sean. It's fun that Sean Bean. I'm wondering if they're gonna do.
Imagine if you kill him and he just gets up and walks away.
Yeah, that's probably.
I could see that happening.
Yeah, or at least after you do the exit, you get a little cutscene. I'm wondering if they're going to do more celebrities moving forwards.
Maybe it's an interesting move.
I'm sure they've had one celebrity in the past, but I don't think he motion capped. I don't think he did the voice or anything like that. It was I want to say it was like Steve Buscemi or someone like. No, maybe it was. I'm sure they've had someone where it was an actual person. Yeah, let's just go the elusive targets. Although is that going to have their real names? I can't remember, but yeah, I'm sure they've had them in the past. It'll be interesting if this time around they're actually going to have outright celebrities do it. They've had ones where they did the Christmas DLC, and the targets. Well, it wasn't an elusive target, but the mission was to take out these two burglars in the Paris level, and they were essentially supposed to be the Sticky Bandits from Home Alone.
I love that they put them in.
Yeah, it was such a nice touch that you could go after Marv. Marv, what's the other one called? I can't remember, but they're both the Sticky Bandits anyway. But yes,
can't see anything. But yeah, I vaguely remember them.
I'm sure it was someone like it wasn't Steve Buscemi. It's all going to be Sean Bean.
Yeah, that's all it's going to be,
that's fine anyway. If anyone knows it, you can absolutely let us know. Of course, you can tip and or donate or cheer or anything to get your message read out on stream, and you can let us know any information that we get wrong or anything that you need to know. But yeah, that's Hitman. Hitman 2 first elusive target. I'm very excited to just do
excited.
I want to stay on top of the elusive targets this time because I missed out on so much. Because you get fun gear. None of it's like game breaking, but it's stuff like my coin that I always use.
Yeah,
the special agency coin, that was an elusive target. Like and the only way to get that is doing that specific elusive target.
I just can't wait because this time round on the 13th of November, it's going to be a blind playthrough. You aren't going to be able to silent assassin anything.
No, I'm not.
Regardless of the fact that we'll have viewers
having Buggles
and messing with her, you ain't getting nothing in.
Yeah. So what do we got next? I see you've got a video loaded up.
Got them ready.
You've got it ready. So the next bit of news, still haven't watched this yet. This dropped Was it Wednesday? No, I feel like it was only like this. No, not Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Was it Tuesday? It was Tuesday. It dropped, which was it's the new Battlefield
5 single player trailer.
That is it.
It's gonna be interesting. I always think that Battlefield single player is a bit weak.
I don't know. I've enjoyed it in the past. Like, what's it called? Bad Company. Amazing.
Recent Battlefields are a bit weak. Battlefield 1 wasn't all that great. It was okay.
No, Battlefield, it's the war stories. I wasn't a big fan of that style, and this one's doing the same thing, which is a shame. Whereas I liked, because Battlefield 4 had the single player. I didn't mind. I like Battlefield 3. I like Battlefield 4. They were fine. They were quite fun ones, where you just played a story. But then the war stories, where it's like, oh, okay, we're going to tell like 5 different stories, and it's you never really get as attached to the characters because you only get like maybe 4 sequences. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so this is going to be the trailer.
Is Medal of Honor back. That was a
Yes.
single-player game and a half.
It was. Right, let's.
You want to go big?
I'm going to go big.
Go big or go home.
Let's see what this is like. Do you want to go full screen?
Yep.
Sponsored by Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox got them elusive rights for it.
Again, this trailer might be cut out if you're watching this on YouTube, in case you enjoy it, I guess.
It is in the moment of truth
Are they getting any big actors with it?
that we uncover who we really
I don't
are.
think they do the whole Call of Duty thing where
What
they get
sacrifices we can
recognizable.
endure. What choices we can
This is
live
where we
with.
discover a face.
Although that being said, Battlefield Hardline had big actors.
Push
Yeah,
beyond
I think
any
that's just
known
because of the
breaking
style it
point.
was.
And it was a different team that did the story, wasn't it? Looked very pretty. I don't know if any of this
It
is actually.
always looks nice, Battlefield,
It's that
in the
Frostbite
trailers.
engine, isn't it? I think it looks great in the game as well. It's that
And
Frostbite
accept
engine is
the
very
truth.
impressive.
Of who we must become.
But yeah, they're doing the same war stories this time around.
So it looks like you're
Because
maybe going to follow
survival is
3
not a given.
characters. There's definitely 3 defined people that's here in the,
I did have
the
a
trailer.
trailer for this, but then it's gone. It's going to talk about.
We must fight for it.
It looks like you've got the female.
I think there's 5 in total.
Is that 5?
I think there's 5, but it's
That's a
might-
big
might be
team.
talked about. Yeah, there's 5.
Them
5
skis though.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's going to be in the multiplayer map, I believe. Obviously, most of the multiplayer maps are based.
I will say this: Battlefield 5 does. Battlefield always has the best multiplayer maps.
I love Battlefield. Is really. I didn't get on one as much.
I just couldn't get away with it. It's just.
I might jump on to 5. I don't know. We'll see. It's definitely piqued my interest. It's still a shame it's gone back to World War II again because we've seen that so many times. I would have liked if they'd gone back to modern day, which is where I love Battlefield.
Did you ever play the futuristic one, 2040?
2142 was amazing.
It was a fantastic.
It was the overall game mode where you had to go up and get into their ship and install. That was a phenomenal game mode.
It's definitely got my attention. The
It
war
has.
stories part is a bit,
I guess it's the multiplayer is where everyone
Yeah.
wants Battlefield, though, isn't it?
but it's bringing Battle Royale, which I don't think we've seen any footage for
We
yet.
haven't yet, I don't think.
Which-
is interesting because the COD one's
But-
done very well.
We've got the Xbox event coming up soon. I
We
feel
do.
like that's where they'll show
I need to
it.
look at when the date for that one is because that could be. I hope it times nice. I hope it's not on a Friday because otherwise we're going to literally have to wait till the next week to talk about it. But yeah, so that was the Battlefield 5 trailer. I don't. Yeah, I'm interested. I enjoy Battlefield. Like I said, I didn't get into 1 as much. I think it was just bad timing as well. I remember I got it and we all played it for maybe a week, and then I think something else came out and I just never went back. I never had a reason to go back to it. I
Yeah, there
went
wasn't
back
much.
to
There
play
wasn't
single
much
player.
pull to it. Like I don't even
No.
think. Did I finish the? No, I did. I finished the single player, but yeah, I just didn't have pull to go back to it.
No, that was it. They
Didn't
just-
hold it.
that just wasn't something to do for it. So which was a shame. I know a lot of people did love 1, but I liked
A lot of people did like the multiplayer in it, but
4 was such a good multiplayer
I don't think nothing
game.
can beat 4. 4 in
4
my
was
eyes is the
perfect
best.
because
but
it
before
also
that, it was
had-
Battlefield Bad Company.
Bad Company was phenomenal, yeah. I love all the numbered ones. Like I got into Battlefield right at the start, Battlefield 1942. Like I played a lot of that, and then I obviously they had Vietnam, and then we had Battlefield 2, Battlefield 3, and obviously Bad Company was console exclusive, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I believe so.
I could be wrong. I know there was another one in there. I think there was Battlefield 2 Modern Combat or Modern Warfare or something that was it
Somewhere
must have been Modern
along-
Combat.
yeah.
It wouldn't have been Modern Warfare because that's a little bit, but it was something like that. It was an I think it was a 360 exclusive because I had a friend. I always played Battlefield on PC, and I always said that this friend would love Battlefield, and he never got to play it because he was a console player. And then it came out on Xbox, and he fell in love with it. We got the older Battlefield games. We got 1942. Oh yeah, Bad Company.
Battlefield Heroes. What the fuck is that?
It was the one that was a
Modern Combat.
Yeah, Modern Combat.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Battlefield 2. Yeah.
Vietnam, Battlefield 1942, Battlefield 2, Battlefield 2
Which
Modern
one was
Combat.
1943?
What's that?
Next to Heroes. When did that happen?
3, isn't it?
But this is its own game? Because 1942 is the first game, and then I remember they redid one of the maps. Was that
It was
a
an
full,
Xbox 360.
It was
Wasn't
a
that
full
Battle-
game.
It was Battlefield 3, wasn't it? No.
No, Battlefield 3 is its own thing. Oh, we're getting baffled by Battlefield
Balls
here. Come on,
do I
EA.
know.
Just do numbering properly.
But isn't it the fact that, like, the actual set games...
They've been modern
Because
for
this
ages.
it's not Battlefield 5, it's Battlefield V, isn't it? For
Yeah, for
Victorious.
victory, Victorious or whatever it is.
something like that, because it's not an exact Battlefield follow-on.
Yeah,
whole
well, it's
point
following
is-
more behind Battlefield 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, I guess it's fine, and I'm sure it'll be really
Makes
fun.
sense because they do Battlefield 1.
But is it not going to be now confusing if they then drop Battlefield 5 later on? They're going to have to call it something else
They'll
now.
call it something else, so it won't go for 5.
Yeah, no, I loved Battlefield 4, and I think it's also a shame because that was the last time we saw that engine, and that was a solid multiplayer engine that they built. And then
I just want destructible universes like
Yeah.
Bad Company. There was nothing better than just
No.
plowing through everything.
or just sitting in the woods with a gun and cutting trees down, like that was the best. But yeah, that's the Battlefield news for today. Next, we have an announcement that for me came out of nowhere. I didn't know this was even happening. I know people have talked about it for a while, or at least talked about the idea of launching games within Discord.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people use Discord as almost their first. They open their PC, they open Discord to see if
I've
anything's
noticed
happening.
it's pulling more and more like news, and it detects what games I have.
Yeah, it's got. I do like that feature when I open it up and it's like, oh, like Analu or like Ninja Part-Time has been playing this and this, and I can see people that I interact with. I can see what they've
they're
been playing
playing.
recently, which is actually really cool. It's essentially what Steam's done for years, but it's just nice. I don't know. I use Discord more actively because it's the social platform I jump to.
Yep.
Like I open Discord before I even look at Facebook or Twitter or anything else. I just jump into Discord.
No,
and
that's
go, oh, is
because you
anything been
have to,
happening?
otherwise your phone won't give you the notification.
That's true, actually. But I use it a lot on like as soon as
Yeah.
I open my laptop, I go straight to Discord to see if anything's happening. But Discord have now opened into beta the Discord store, so they are going to go. They're actually genuinely going after Steam and all these other places that currently offer their own launchers and stuff and stores. They are genuinely going after that market.
They marketed right, and they marketed at a decent price.
Yep, they seem to have all right prices.
Steam needs to start worrying. If
They-
they can get a good library,
Yeah, well, so far they've launched with 60 titles, I believe. Oh no, this is a different thing actually. Sorry, I don't know how many titles they've launched with. But they've said that they're not necessarily going to have every single game. They're not going
they
after
won't
Steam.
go indie.
They're doing a lot of indie because they're doing more curated. They are actually almost like hand-picking the titles. They're looking for titles that they know people will want. They're not just going, anything can be on here.
Green light.
All the AAA.
Go!
They're not going for all the big AAA. They're going to go for more of the game. They can probably see metrics of what games people are playing while using their service, and they're
Yeah.
probably going to go after those. They've got curated. They've got a full recommendations feature. So if you play a game and you like it,
I
you
can
can
recommend it to like
and then
a server.
to a server or just in general, just go, I like this game, and then anyone that has you on their friends list or communicates with you will now see it in the store, going like, oh, Adam recommended this.
The only thing I wanted to stray away from is how Twitch did their launcher.
Well, it's built straight into the Discord launcher from the start. Literally, if you already have Discord, the store is already there and it's built in.
I mean, like the social feed.
Oh, the
seemed-
social wasn't great, but the Discord one feels like they've been building that social side of it for a little while, and it seems pretty good so far. The other thing that they've added is an overall Discord launcher. So this allows you you can do the same with Steam pretty much, but you can add any game on your PC into this, and then launch the game from there. And they've actually, I don't know if they found a way to make it work properly, but you can launch like any game, whether it be on Steam, on like GOG, on Uplay, Origin,
Uplay.
anything. You can add them all into this one launcher, and they will all happily launch from there, and let all your friends know what you're playing. Like it recognizes the
That's
games.
a nice touch. That like it'll because normally you would play like Uplay and
might not recognize-
It wouldn't
yeah.
see it on Steam and whatnot.
Yeah, so they've,
It's gonna
they've
tie
linked it
all
all
that
in.
into nice. People will know that you may
playing
you may
Siege.
see your friend online and go,
Yep.
"Oh, he's not doing anything. Why is he not in chat?" Now it'll go, "This is why he's playing."
He's busy playing this. But I feel like the next step as well with that is that they'll probably start linking it in so you could so I imagine the game developers will have to allow it, but I think this is the first step towards you being able to see someone playing something on Discord and going, join, and it just boots the game up for you
Yeah.
and you're playing with them through that one service, which is what I think a lot of us want. Because that's a great feature of Steam, where you can see a friend playing something, if they're playing, or if we talk about, you go like, oh, I'm going to play some PUBG, and I'm like, okay, I can just literally go to my friends list and go join, and it pulls me straight into the game.
Yeah.
If I can do that through Discord, through any game on my PC, regardless of service, that's perfect. I'm
then
not
it
saying
picks
I'm
up
not saying that's
nicely.
what they've got, but I feel like that's the direction they're going. The other feature they've got, because this is a service that I've never fully understood, is Discord Nitro, which is their premium
What
service.
is it? Like I see it advertised all the time.
Right now, I think the biggest features of it are that if you have emotes from one server, you can use them in any server.
I thought you could do that anyway.
No, it's a Nitro exclusive feature. Like if, for example, we have only like 3 or 4 emotes on ours. We have like the buckle and things
I
like
can
that.
use them in other servers.
I don't fully know it, but they're supposed to be tied, maybe because you're an admin or something like that. But yeah, usually it's. But yeah, look up Discord Nitro to see the current features. The new features, however, are that they're essentially adding their own Games Pass to their own service. Which right now, if you are already a Nitro customer, you have access to 60 games out the gate.
That's a lot of games.
$9.99 a month for Nitro, so that's probably like £7 in the UK. You get a custom. Oh, that's one of the best ones. Is that you can have a custom tag.
Custom Discord tag.
Yeah.
You get animated fun. You can upload GIFs for
So you can-
animated avatars and
Okay.
emojis, high quality videos. You can share screen games 720p, 60 FPS, or 180 and 30.
Okay. I think you can use different emotes from different places as well. I think maybe I misunderstood that one because
get a global passport.
Someone in our Discord just used their own one, I think, or at least someone else's in our Discord. So yeah,
get a global passport to use your custom emojis anywhere. I think what it reads that is if you've built your own custom emojis.
So not server based.
Not server based. It's something you've created yourself.
Okay.
And then you can go along and use
that,
them
I guess that
you
makes
want.
sense.
So it's like taking a emoji dictionary around.
Yeah. Okay.
That you've created yourself.
So that's Discord Nitro so far. I've never fully understood it. Because I've never felt a need to get it. I know every so often I'll go to do something and it goes, if you had Discord Nitro, and I go, nope, and just close it.
Yeah.
But now it is essentially a Games Pass, part of the Discord store, and it's going to give you, right now, it's straight away access to 60 games off the bat. There's already a load of Discord first titles that are mostly indie titles, but some of the bigger ones, one of the ones I spotted that as soon as I saw it, I was like, Adam's going to love this, is Sinner Sacrifice for Redemption, which is a new kind of, what was the name?
Soulsborne.
Soulsborne, that's it, thank you.
Soulsborne.
Soulsborne.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is a new one that actually just released today, and it is on PC, it is Discord first. And then it's also coming to PS4 and Xbox One. It might already be on PS4 and Xbox One. But it's Discord first right now, and I believe it is part of the Discord Nitro library. Yeah, I think it's part of that. So if you have Nitro, you get access to it. But yeah, it looks good.
Everybody seems to go down this route, and then you
charging subscription fees.
$10 here, another $10 there.
Yeah. Everyone wants to do the
pricey.
Netflix model.
Yeah.
It does. It starts getting pricey. I think it's for the UK. For us, it feels pricey. As far as media, not necessarily games goes, in the US, it's cheaper to have like Netflix and HBO and all this different stuff. It's much cheaper to do that than it is to have a cable provider because they are way more expensive.
Because I think if I remember correctly, I was looking into this to why it was because your cable provider essentially rents you the box.
Yep.
You don't own that box.
Yep.
Whereas in here, you don't have that. You don't have the rented subscription.
Virgin Media is the only one that does it. But if you, like me, and you have the box for so long that it gets outdated, they never even ask for it.
Yeah, they don't even charge you. Like
no, they don't. They don't charge you specifically for the box, just for the service.
I think that's the thing in America that they specifically put a charge on your bill of like box rent, and it's a fair whack as well.
So I think a lot in America, it's that whole like cord cutting thing where they get rid of the thing.
Like now, if you look at it, movies like streaming content, like video wise,
so many
Netflix, Amazon, Hulu.
Yeah,
if you're in the States,
you've got three big ones.
HBO's
got its own service. You got Now TV if you're in the UK. On top of that, there's now DC Universe, which is DC's exclusive one. That's the only place you can see Titans.
There's Disney coming.
Disney's got their one coming out. I'm sure there's probably at least one or two other ones that we're not counting, but they're the big ones.
So they're just entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
If you go games route,
Games Pass,
EA Access.
There's 2 levels of EA Access now as well. You've got PlayStation Now Tech. I mean, yeah, it is.
PlayStation Now.
PlayStation Now is a thing now. It always was, but now it's a viable thing. Yeah, now Discord Nitro. You said the EA one. I don't know. I don't think Uplay does their own one. I don't think.
I can't remember. But still, if you wanted all of them, that's £40.
It is.
And you're not guaranteed to get brand new games for it.
No. Well, with the EA's second, like the premium one, I think they're starting to now offer. They're doing the Games Pass Microsoft first thing where they're being like, okay, you're also going to, on top of all these other ones, you're also going to get hours. But yeah, EA is essentially if you want that, you've got to pay more.
Yep.
You need premium. But yeah, so Discord's done theirs. I feel like this is probably a big benefit for people who just already have Nitro. It's just it's kind of like when
when Amazon did it and they were like, here's Twitch Prime.
Yeah. You're already
paying for it. We have Twitch. Here you go. Job's done.
Twitch already had like Twitch Turbo, but I can't imagine that there's
I can't imagine there's that many Twitch Turbo users now.
Not so much nowadays. You do see them occasionally, but I can't. I could be wrong. Then anyone is welcome to prove me wrong. But I can't imagine there's that many people who exclusively go and get Amazon Prime just for Twitch, like they don't use any other Amazon Prime service.
That would be odd because Amazon is becoming more and more commonplace with all of its like Amazon Now, Amazon Prime Video, Amazon Groceries,
Amazon Music.
Yeah,
they've got everything. So
My
I feel
only
like
as Amazon Music, if you have Amazon Prime, isn't a streaming service.
Is it
well,
separate?
it is. You don't get a whole library. You get selected bits and pieces of music where they've went, well, we'll put this in the free version.
Well, I feel like
and
they've
then
been
if
doing
you've
that
got
for
to
a
pay
while.
again, if you want like the Spotify experience of like brand new music when it comes out on the Friday.
I feel like they've been cutting down on the features of Amazon Prime. I remember Amazon Prime back in the day was phenomenal because any delivery you got. In the UK, it was guaranteed it was going to be by a proper courier, not their own logistics service.
UK logistics service with an absolute... The fact that they can rock up at 9 at night with my parcel is bullshit.
So Amazon's went down with that. They've now more recently gotten rid of ad-free viewing universally on Twitch.
Yep.
They've slowly been taking things out of it because they've realized that maybe they're giving too much for that price point.
It's fucking £80 a year.
It is, but now that you can also just pay monthly, you can just do a monthly fee.
I don't care.
But yeah, I always did that until but yeah, basically, yeah, now Discord's got its own version of it. I don't know if I'll jump on it, if I'm perfectly honest. Maybe down the road once
Hopefully
they've
they'll
got
give
some more
you a
features.
trial. So we're gonna.
That would be nice.
That would be nice to experience.
That'd be nice to
see.
experience it.
But,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, at the moment,
I need
no
to
pull
see.
it because
That's
there's
it.
not enough.
I could see myself using the library.
I use
though.
Discord a lot,
Yeah.
but there's nothing to pull us to go. I want to be able to have an animated GIF as an emoji.
Yeah, the Nitro features aren't enough to pull me into it.
It needs to put a little bit more oomph to pull.
It would
us
just
in.
need some of those some nice big titles, which I feel they'll get now that this service
They may
is
get
out there.
AAA. If they get AAA,
might get
they'll
AAA.
pull a lot of
They
people.
might get some of those almost AA ones. A lot of the Team 17,
Yeah.
the day when like Overcooked 3 comes out. If they go, it's Discord first for like the first like 2 weeks. That's enough to sell a lot of people.
That's a big partnership though.
That's a lot of what they're doing with these timed exclusives are like week to 2 week exclusivity, so that you don't get it on any other platform until Discord's had it. Which is that's a good way of doing it. That'll pull people in.
Way.
But yeah, so that is Discord. We've got one last thing for gaming today, which is it's more of a hardware thing, but this article popped up on PC Gamer and I thought it was interesting. It's about the new GeForce RTX 2070 Founders Edition. Explicitly, it's that one.
For them extra deep shadows.
Yeah, exactly. It's the ray tracing and stuff. Basically, it's come out. They've been testing it, and it's only the actual power of it on paper. It's only 12% faster than the base model 1080, not the 1080 Ti, just the 1080. So the card you have.
The card I have is 12% slower than this brand new card that I'm now
but
charging
the
like
new
a grand
card
for.
is 33% more expensive than a base 1080 because a 1080 is probably somewhere between
About £400 in the UK.
but 400 to 500 depending if you manage to get it on a good deal. I think most of the prices I found on Amazon were around 499 for like if you're going for a very well known, like Gigabyte or one of the bigger brands. If you're getting the Founders Edition, which is the one, it's actually more expensive anyway. The Founders Edition is like $100 more than a base.
Because you get a fancy
2070.
box.
Yeah, exactly. In the UK, it is £729, so it's an extra £229, but it's only 12%
They're not
faster.
as expensive. I thought there would be more like
This is the
900 mark.
2070. Keep in mind, this isn't the 2080. The 2080 is the new high end. So the 2080 is the equivalent, is the modern equivalent of the 1080. There was obviously also the 1070, which was like the lesser one, but it would still play most games.
Yep.
This is the 2070, and the point is
that's
their
right.
lower end one is only 12% more powerful.
There's literally no point for it at the
Right
moment.
now, there's not a need to upgrade to it, which I just thought was very straight. It's that amount of price difference.
It's insane for
It is.
something that's not really in market either.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. A lot of the features of the new card and this new ray tracing that they were obviously showing off, and I know a lot of people have been very skeptical of it. I absolutely have. Is that it's all this new ray tracing and DLSS stuff. There's not even any games coming out that are featuring it right now. I think I mentioned this in a recent stream that a lot of the stuff when they brought out all this fancy like the hair physics and all that sort of stuff. I know the Tomb Raider games use them. They were some of the few games that actually made use of those.
I
in the early
vaguely
days.
think that Tomb Raider was maybe the only game that did it.
That really made big use of it.
Warframe
Yeah.
was capes and that was about it or
Okay.
something.
But yeah, so we need to see games that are actually going to use this. Otherwise, there's no need to upgrade
Just
right now.
get
Not for
1080.
that price
Get
difference.
1080 and you're sorted.
It's such a big jump. But yeah, that was just a bit of hardware news. I thought it was interesting. PC Gamer did a full rundown of the hardware spec of the new 2070 Founders Edition as well as the 2080 as well. So you can go and check those out over on PCGamer.com. But yeah, that is the end of gaming news for today. Don't worry, we still got more to come. And I've got game releases. I went and grabbed these.
Releases.
So-
it's quiet couple of weeks.
Everyone's, I feel, wary of releasing stuff in the run-up to next
You
Friday.
are ballsy as fuck if you release a game up against an RDR2.
Yeah, absolutely. But tomorrow, which is Friday the 19th of October, we've got Dark Souls Remastered coming to Switch.
It's a good game to take. I can
see why it would be a fun one to play on the go.
Switch is being snapped in half.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also Soul Calibur 6 comes out tomorrow on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
Crept up out of nowhere.
They ran betas for it over the past, maybe in the past 4 weeks or so. They ran some online betas. They were doing stress tests and things like that. But I haven't really followed it actively. All I really know about it is that Geralt's in it. That's literally the only bit of news I followed.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
it
I
just
love
seems
Soul
like
Calibur.
it's like crept out of nowhere. I'm very surprised we don't have a Mortal Kombat this year.
Yeah. I mean, we've had them for, I guess they're every few years or so that they seem to be releasing.
It's been a long time since we had a Mortal Kombat.
That's true.
But yeah.
And
it
then
feels like it crept up. Like
it did, yeah. It kind of popped out of nowhere. But yeah, Soul Calibur 6 is available PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC this Friday, 19th of October. And then on Tuesday, the 22nd of October, sorry, not 27th, is Just Dance 2019. I haven't got the list of consoles here because I think it's probably out.
It'll be on your mobile.
It probably will be. So so that's Just Dance 2019. They release those every single year. I'm not a Just Dance person.
I don't know. It's the
I
same
know a lot
as-
of they're a big
same
one.
as FIFA. I don't
A
understand
lot of
it.
I think they make a lot of money for Ubisoft, and that's all that they really care about. So that's fine.
Churning that money.
Just
out.
churning out that money.
Do.
But yeah, that is game news for today. So let's head on over into a little bit of entertainment news. So, kicking us off with entertainment news.
Swinging into the thing.
Swinging, that's a good way of putting it, because Spider-Man Far From Home
Families.
has wrapped. Tom Holland released a tweet showing off his new suit that we've seen a lot of leaked images of.
Is this the which one is it? Is it the noir one?
It's a black. It's very black. It looks a lot like the Homecoming suit, except the blue bits are all black. Which is it's a weird step down for him to go from the Iron Spider suit, but I'm sure that'll be explained in Avengers 4 when we get to it. So let me just pop this.
Bring a picture of it.
This is the image that he posted of himself and Zendaya. He just said that it's a wrap. So that's the suit. It is it's just a darker suit.
Looks a little bit Deadpool.
I can get that. It's very just red and black. It's an interesting one.
Is anybody like picked through it and been like it's from this?
No. It's because the Homecoming suit itself was a somewhat as original as you can be, basing it on Spider-Man.
A Spider-Man suit.
Exactly. But yeah, so it just looks like it's an upgraded version of the Homecoming suit, and maybe it'll be explained. Maybe it's supposed to be a bit more stealth, but there's still a lot of red on there for it to really
You
be
would
stealth.
spot him coming from a mile away.
You really would, yeah. I mean, he's a big old
I
red.
didn't realize they were that close to finish filming.
Yeah, well, I mean, they started in July.
I forget that after Avengers 4,
This is next.
whatever the title may be, that this is like a month after, because
Yeah, pretty much.
the events of A4 end,
Yep.
and this needs to lead
This is the
straight
kickoff
back
point.
off
Yep.
to do the next
To set off the next chain of
the
events.
next 10 years.
Potentially, yeah, exactly. It started filming on July 5th. No, sorry, it comes out July 5th, 2019.
Is that US or
I'm not sure. I just grabbed whatever date was there for me.
that feels like it might be
It might be the US release.
Might be the
we
U-
might get it at the
yeah.
end of June. We
Yeah.
usually get it a week early. It started filming this June, and it wrapped this month. It wrapped in October.
about
Yeah.
it as well. Think about the timeline what we have coming up. We've had Captain Marvel,
Well, we've got Captain Marvel coming.
seen the
February?
first trailer,
March. Yeah,
February, March.
we have seen the trailer for that.
That'll start winding down its marketing campaign soon.
Well, it'll start winding it up, will it not?
A
Because they're
little
going to
bit.
start getting it
Yeah,
closer
but
to
then
release.
you've also got to think that they've got to squeeze in A4, and they are going to
They
want
do.
A4 everywhere.
What
for
big
Christmas.
films have we got this Christmas that they're going to want to have that trailer? I did see recently there was rumblings on the interwebs, rumors spiraling out of control that there was an Avengers 4 trailer being prepped for IMAX, but then IMAX came out and said it wasn't. But they also then, by doing so, kind of confirmed that there is an Avengers 4 trailer coming.
I've seen this rumor
Yeah.
going around as well a bit, because the Russo brothers posted an image of what looks like a car headlight.
Oh yeah, this is the last day of filming when they actually
The
wrapped.
last day of
I
filming
saw
when the
someone
wrap
being
day
like,
4.
it's this photo or something like that.
Yeah, it's like some photo where Thanos is being arrested by normal NYPD.
Yeah, I think it was some cosplayer or something like that.
But the Hulk
Mark Ruffalo.
has come out and been like something like about him being fired or whatnot.
Oh,
and there seems to be
yeah.
this whole like
It's a whole bit going on right
whole
now.
bit going on, and it's going to be like he's going to get revenge by releasing the title name.
I've seen
or the
there's people
poster
are
or the
petitioning
movie.
for him to release it because he's been fired. He obviously hasn't been fired. He was on. Oh, it was one of the Jimmys, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. He was on one of the talk shows, and he
They're both the same
basically
person at this
tweeted
point.
saying that he he's now he tweeted something like, oh, sorry for spoiling, no, sorry that I just because obviously they pre-tape
Oh, that
all
was
those
it. He
shows.
put hashtag spoiler, and they were like, "You're
posted-
fired."
Yeah, it was the Russos. He basically tweeted saying sorry you spoiled Avengers 4 title or something like that, and then the Russos literally tweeted at him being like, Mark, you fired, and then that was it, and that's the last of it. So everyone's like, oh, he's been fired. And then if you actually watch the episode or the segment that he was in, he literally doesn't talk about anything to do with Avengers. He was there purely to talk about everyone signing up to vote in America, because obviously it's a big deal. But by doing so, he got everybody to tune in and watch his segment. It was a big marketing thing for himself. He tricked everyone to go and see him talk about voting, because he's very passionate about the political climate in America right now, which a lot of people are, a lot of celebrities, a lot of just everybody. But yeah, other things. Spider-Man: Far From Home. Obviously, Tom Holland's back. I mean, that
I'd hope
goes
so.
without
He
saying.
is Spider-Man.
And Zendaya is back. Michael Keaton's making a return. I don't know in what capacity, but he's definitely signed on to the film.
I feel like that
He might just be in
is
prison.
in prison.
You think it's going to be like Kingpin?
Sinister Six storyline?
Yeah, that absolutely could be,
because
we
I
already have
feel
Scorpion.
I know that Sony are wanting to take Spider-Man back after the 3 movies.
I think Marvel's going to throw lots of money at them.
Marvel's not going to let them.
Yeah.
They've seen how well he fits into the universe
Yep.
as this jigsaw piece, and
He
that's it.
sets up too much.
He sets up too
I
much
feel like
for the
there's
rest of the
probably,
unit.
we don't know, but there's probably a lot of negotiations already gone into place that have set this up, because there's no way in hell they would be using Spider-Man as their starting point for the next stage in the MCU if they didn't know that they've got him moving forwards. If they're using him as the kicking off point after Avengers 4, and then that's the last film we see him in, and then Sony take him back, I don't think Marvel's going to...
No.
Marvel have already planned this. Feige's got it covered.
I think Sony's grasp of them last
Yeah.
few movies to milk that cow with a...
But yeah,
getting it to
they're also
wrap
being
around.
joined by Jon Favreau again, Marissa Tomei. This time we've got Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be in there as Mysterio. Yeah, exactly. And Kobe Smulders and Samuel L. Jackson are also reprising their roles as Agent not Melinda May. That's a different character.
That is
altogether.
a completely different
It's a totally
character.
different character. I'm totally blank. What's
Shite.
Agent?
Hill?
Yes, thank you, Maria Hill. And of course, Nick Fury. They're reprising their roles, and the filming took place across England, the Czech Republic, Venice, and New York City. So because it's Far From Home, I think it's going to be a big field trip storyline.
I know everybody
I hope we get
thought
more of
about
Martin
Far
Starr,
From Home was because of...
that he was going to be trapped in space or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the first thing, and then everyone kind of then realized that, oh no, we've got an entire film to go before then. He's probably not still going to be trapped in space.
Spoilers.
In spoilers, he's standing. So we've also seen a lot of filming taking place in England.
Spoilers, he's alive.
Spoilers. I think we knew that when they'd already announced the film
Yeah.
before it came out.
Go back a bit
Go back.
with the release date of like the whole Avengers thing. I
Yes.
was looking at what's actually out.
What's coming out this year?
Spider-Verse, it would fit in there.
It would, but that's a Sony. I mean, yeah,
Mortal Engines,
maybe. That's
Mary
that's-
Poppins Returns.
It's Disney. I
It's
could see
Disney.
them doing that, and they're going to make a lot of bank on that movie.
Yep.
I could see them dropping it on that December 19th. They could absolutely drop the trailer then.
Actually, Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yeah,
November.
One of those two. That's
It
November.
fits,
That
it
might
fits
be.
in so well.
Yeah. I feel like if they're going to do it, they'll do it on their own property if they can, because it's going to get more people into the seats who want to see this Avengers trailer in IMAX and all that sort of stuff.
But yeah, the whole theory is that it's coming. You think about it, they've got to get they're going to want to ramp up that marketing campaign for a fair while, because that's going to
Yeah.
sell a lot of toys
Oh, big
and
time.
a lot of seats.
Well, the toy leaks have already started coming out, because we've already seen what Thor and some of the other characters look like in the new movie. I don't actually have this image. No, Thor was fine.
I know that.
The image that came out was Thor and Rocket, because it was from a big toy fair, and it was basically the lineup for the next thing, and he's got this like white suit on, but it looks a lot like Hank Pym's suit that he uses to go into the Microverse. So that's interesting. Oh, the Quantum Realm, sorry. But yeah, it looks a lot like that suit, but obviously it's got Chris Hemsworth
Isn't
in it instead.
the whole thing about the whole Thanos storyline that Thor is the one that saves them all, maybe?
Maybe. We don't know. They could really throw it any which way they want right now.
They've set it up so that it can go anywhere.
It really can go anywhere. I know that they filmed them back to back, so we know that they'd already pre-planned it. It's not like they're just going to come up with it after the fact. But no, I'm super excited.
I'm hoping. Yeah, Captain Marvel's already had its trailer.
It has. We'll probably get another one.
Look at another
around
one.
Christmas.
Maybe before.
Yeah. Might be
Avengers
before,
4,
might be after.
I would say, is going to drop around the Christmas mark.
Yeah, I think it has to get all those bums in seats.
Because
in the
then they've
cinemas.
also got to do that. And with Spider-Man being so close to release date, in between the beginning of the year and where Spider-Man comes out, they've got to fit in Spider-Man's promo. There's too much to fit around that beginning of the year
Yeah,
to squeeze in at the start of it for its marketing campaign.
yeah. No, there is a lot.
So I can imagine Avengers is before. That's going to be my call.
That's your-
Avengers
that's your- I can agree
before
with that.
Christmas.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Next up, still in the comic verse, is we've got the first image of the new HBO Watchmen series that they are currently working on. I think that one it should have. Yeah, that's just it. I think that is pretty much the image. Yeah, it's just from the Instagram. I don't know if it, just the background moves. Are you gonna whip that one over? There we go. Yeah, let it play. So yeah, this is let's go big for it.
This is completely flown underneath
Did
my
you know they're
radar.
doing a Watchmen? So
No.
this character doesn't seem recognizable. He's obviously got the bright yellow color scheme, which obviously everyone associates with Watchmen. But a lot of the theories that are flying around is that it's going to be actually a sequel to the Watchmen, because obviously they did the Watchmen movie that was almost scene for scene based on the comics or the comic.
Yeah.
The rumor is that rather than just retelling that again in series form, that they're actually going to do a sequel instead, because I think they've got Alan Moore on board actually doing some writing, or at least not writing, but maybe like overseeing it, and he was obviously the writer of the comic. But yeah, it's already the whole cast there. They're already filming it. Tim Blake Nelson, Don Johnson, Jeremy Irons, Regina King. Like, it's got a good cast behind it. But yeah, this looks like a new character. It drops in 2019. I just thought it was interesting. It's the first time we're seeing it. It's HBO probably throwing their money. It's a comic book franchise.
If you think about it, HBO is going to lose one of its biggest money makers.
Oh, it is.
It's going to need another one to
Well,
replace
to
it.
follow up with that, did you see? I don't have this one listed in news, but all of the main cast of Westworld just received huge pay rises for the next season. Because this is going to be their new big money maker moving forwards.
Because they've got all that's happened is that Game of Thrones
Yep.
pot budget is just went, well, this is all sitting here doing
Let's
nothing.
just shake
Where's it going to go?
Rinse it across the rest of the project. So we've got Watchmen coming. And obviously they're doing the Game of Thrones prequel project, but we don't know when we're going to see it. That might be a few years out. They might wait a little bit on it. I don't know. Maybe Westworld season 3. They're going to go to Westeros
England.
world. Yeah, they're going to have dragons and everyone there. That's where all the budget will go. No, if they do that, we're not going to see the dragons in Westeros world for like another 3 seasons.
They'll be babies.
Yeah, exactly. I'm keeping up with the comic book. I put all these in order because they were all comic book related. But straight off the back of Watchmen, another series that's starting over at Epix, which is a channel in America.
What is Epic? Because I'd never heard of it.
I've only seen a few things come up from it. I think Epix is a one that's similar along the same lines as like sci-fi and stuff. Anyone that's American that watches could obviously correct us on this. But yeah, I think it's along those same lines.
It's like
they produce
Star
a lot of
Wars.
content. Yeah, they produce, I think, some good stuff. I think I want to say no. Epix didn't do Boardwalk Empire. That might have been Stars, but I think Epix have done a few things. But yeah, so basically we've got. I didn't realize that we were full screen on there. Let me
Just
just
a little one.
there we go. But yeah, they have a new series that's coming called Pennyworth, and it is following. It's the story of Alfred, but as a young man, Bruce Wayne's butler.
Before he becomes the butler.
Before he becomes the butler, yeah, that we all know from the Batman stories. But yeah, it is called Pennyworth, and they've recently just cast the actor that's going to be playing Alfred. He is going to be played by Jack Bannon, which I only know a few of his movies. He was in The Imitation Game, and he was in Fury. They've also already cast Thomas Wayne, because the actual storyline is going to follow basically this guy. He's a former special forces operative who starts his own security company and ends up becoming friends with Thomas Wayne, who obviously down the road he's going to become his butler.
How do you go from special forces to being a butler?
Well, I don't know, because they hinted at, it's obviously in the comics it was always hinted at that when they did the movies, like the Michael Caine one. He mentions the things that he saw in the some men just want to see the world burn. He kind of references things that happened. And then in the Gotham TV series, we see a lot more of that. Their version of Alfred I actually really, really like, played by, I'm going to mix them up with, it's either him or his, I want to say it's Sean Pertwee that plays him. I always mix up the two different Pertwees.
I always liked Gotham.
The Gotham Alfred is really, really, I hated him when in literally episode 1 I was like, nah, this isn't Alfred, it's just Sean Pertwee, I don't like it. And literally took about 2 episodes and I was like, nah,
Yeah,
he's
I was
amazing.
pretty much the same. I was like, yeah.
Because immediately I was like, this isn't old man Alfred from the early movies.
I think everybody
and this isn't Michael
pitches.
Caine.
I think everybody pitches him as an old man.
That's it.
That's
and
what it was.
They did
and
pick
it
an
threw
older
people-
actor, which was good, but he was still an actor that you get certain parts in that series where he's kicking ass himself. Like you go like, oh yeah, he was a special forces guy. Like it makes sense. But yeah, they're going to do a full story. It's going to be set in the 1960s in England and follow the story of Alfred Pennyworth, which I'm intrigued by this. I like a good comic book one. With Gotham coming to an end this season, it'll be nice to kind of continue.
Is it fully wrapped in Gotham? Did it not get picked up?
They gave them a half season to finish their entire story.
Oh, yeah, that was
the
it.
final episodes of the show take place 20 years in the future, and we get Batman. For at least a full episode, we get full Batman, because he's going to go 20 years in the future and show... We're going to see his journey to war. We've already, at this point, don't want to give spoilers, but we've already started in this past season or so showing a big amount of his journey. He's already come across Ra's al Ghul. He's already come across a lot of different stuff. He's already started to do a bit of vigilantism, but we're going to see him getting set on his path, and then I think the finale is going to have him actually being Batman. It's going to be set
one episode
20 years in the
as
future.
Batman.
Probably at least just one episode, but that'll be cool because we might also see a lot of the villains that have been throughout the show
As their actual villain.
older villains. Yeah, we're going to get to see,
Maybe a couple of episodes so they don't ram
I
all
hope
these
to do.
villains
I
in.
hope to do a couple, but I think if anything, they might do it as like a double bill for the finale, so you'll get like a couple of hours worth of it. But yeah, it's a final season. They're wrapping it up. Last season ended on a really strong note for me. I loved it. I'm excited. I'm excited for the end of Gotham, but I'm excited to see what they do with this. There's a lot of other shows. I haven't jumped on that Krypton show that Sci-Fi's doing, but it's supposed to be all right. Where it's basically it's not the story of Superman. It's actually just the story. I think it follows the House L. Yeah.
Yeah.
On Krypton, but it's all the politics of Krypton, the action, all that different
fall.
stuff. The
So
fall
instead of
Krypton.
getting Superman, you get
We're getting to see Krypton before any of that happened.
before he gets sent away in the rocket
But it
ship.
also, I haven't watched it, but I'm assuming that means none of them are superpowered, because the only thing that makes them superpowered
Is
is
the
Earth's,
sun.
Yeah, it's Earth's yellow sun. We're going straight. There's a lot of comic book news, but that's because 90% of the films in cinemas right now are comic book, at least the big blockbusters.
Yeah.
So we got a lot. So kicking straight off the back of that Alfred news is the news that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has officially been pushed. Its production, this isn't the release, its production to 2021.
That
That's
was
a long way
inevitable.
away.
That was going to happen.
Absolutely.
Regardless.
So production
when
is
James
now
Gunn left.
set. Yeah, he
pushed out the
got
door.
pushed out the door by Disney, which I don't think anyone is very
Bullied.
happy with.
Bullied
Yeah,
out the
he really
door.
did. But yeah, production is set for February 2021. There's still no director, but apparently it is confirmed Gunn's script will be being used. But that's the biggest downfall,
It's
honestly.
at the moment, it's Gunn's script being used. When it gets to 2021, they
We'll
may
see.
find a better director. They might not. And
They might.
the script gets reworked.
The worst part of it is that all the fans want Gunn's script to be used, obviously, because everyone was fans of James Gunn. I imagine Disney still want James Gunn's script to be used because he's obviously written very well. The past 2 movies have been a massive success, so they made a lot of money. But it's also making it very difficult to find a director. They turned to Bradley Cooper because obviously he's invested in it and he's directing movies at this point. He's done quite a few successful movies. They turned to him to direct it, and he basically said he ain't touching another man's work.
Yep.
Like he said he would never direct a film he hasn't written. It was his actual wording. They also turned to Paul Feig. He is the director. He did Bridesmaids. He did the most recent Ghostbusters. I think he did Spy. He's done some successful ones. He's done some less success. But he is a pretty good director. He knows how to do comedy and ragtag bunches.
They're gonna go for like someone that can nail that ragtag
Exactly.
comedy bunch.
That's the entire reason James Gunn, as we covered last week, got hired for
Suicide
Suicide Squad,
Squad.
because they're literally
Just
like,
bad guy
we
Guardians.
want Suicide Squad to do what Guardians did.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paul Feig also toned it down, saying he wouldn't work on another man's project. Like, this was someone else's work. Their heart and soul went into it. He doesn't want to come and take it over.
I wonder. I know Disney's pushed them out and said we don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
I wonder if a couple of years down the line
When Suicide Squad's making bank.
and it's maybe all the heat's died down and everybody's simmered, everybody's went to the naughty step and calmed down. They go, just come back.
I hope he doesn't at this point. Like, I would, as a fan, I would love it. But for his own, just the respect that he deserves,
Just a
I
big
hope he just
fuck you
goes
to
like,
Disney.
nah, screw you. Like, I'm going to go make bank with DC now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's going to, and as a comic book, I'm a Marvel fan first, but as a comic book lover, I'm a winner in all
it's
these.
just a shame DC. It maybe give DC movies.
That's what I
that
mean. DC
punch
might
to get-
actually work out if they put hit, because it used to be Zack Snyder was in the hot seat. It was always him. He was the executive producer on all the projects, even the ones he wasn't directing. The ones he didn't direct were sometimes the more successful ones. Well, Wonder Woman, Patty Jenkins did a phenomenal job with that. As far as what she had to work with, she did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's my favorite movie, but it's my favorite out of the DC movies
Yeah,
that we've had.
definitely.
But yeah, it's always still been Zack Snyder's vision, which I think is somewhat held it back.
Held
a bit.
it back
He did
because
very well.
he's got this very closed, dark world pictured.
Because he did Watchmen, and I loved Watchmen, and the critics didn't love it as much. I loved Watchmen. It was straight from the comic. He made it pretty much page for page. But yeah, it's that gritty, dark world.
Gritty, dark, noir world, which
It's like the joke in Deadpool when he's like, "Oh, it's so dark. You sure you're not from DC?" Like, it's that thing. We don't always need that. You can have dark. The villain in
We've had
spoilers.
dark. It's
We've had
fucking
dark.
Christopher Nolan's Batman.
Wait, he did it well. At least for one of the films, he did it really well. Batman Begins was all right. Dark Knight was obviously great. I wasn't a super big fan of Dark Knight Rises. I thought it was all right, but there was a lot of errors in the film.
It wasn't as good as 2.
It was nowhere near as good as 2. And overall, I still think there's other movies that were a lot better. There was a lot of errors I didn't like in it. Stuff like all the bit with all the police officers that were trapped somewhere, and then when they finally get out, they're all like clean and like clean shaven, and they look fine. And I'm like, that makes no sense. And there was certain scenes where they would go in somewhere, like Bane went into this place first thing in the morning before like the stock market opened and stuff, and he breaks into it and like does all the thing that they're doing. And when he leaves, it's pitch black, and I'm like, this is just so that you can have the Batmobile, isn't it? Like, that's the only reason that scene was in the dark. He literally apparently spent the entire day in there, and the police didn't rock up until midnight. Like, it made no sense. It made no sense. It made no sense. But anyway, I digress. It is back to Guardians. It is unknown if Dave Bautista will return.
I would, if they don't use Gunn's script, he's not coming back.
I don't think he wants to come back anyway. He wants on this Suicide Squad, and I feel like
he's going to find every way possible to get out his contract or just Disney itself.
Yeah.
Disney is fucked over. Like, I wouldn't care. He's a phenomenal actor in Guardians.
He is. He's really. The guy is showing.
People, I remember him being cast, and people was like, "Really?
Yeah.
An ex-wrestler?
Yeah. Well, it was that whole thing. It's like, it's gonna be like The Rock again. And as much as The Rock has shown he can act, but it's still you go see a movie.
The Rock is good for a second movie.
Yeah,
because
he does the sequel. He's sequel Viagra. But no, I quite enjoyed. I haven't watched the most recent season, but I quite enjoyed Ballers. You can do some good drama and stuff. But overall, you go to see a Rock movie because you want to see The Rock. You want to see action and a large man running around. He was
surprisingly good for what everybody painted him as.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he's improved as the years have gone on. I'm assuming
I feel like we're going to see more and more TV and maybe shows. He might get on a few shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely set his name forward first.
But yeah, Dave Bautista, as you say, coming from being a wrestler, and everyone's like, but yeah, he showed that he could definitely act in that. I didn't hate him when he was in that small action role when he was in the most recent. I'm saying most recent. It's still now like probably 8 years ago, but the last Riddick movie that they did, he was kind of a villain in that.
Can't be any worse than Captain America. No, the middle one, is it Winter Soldier?
Winter Soldier. What's wrong with Winter Soldier?
The bald man on the ship is an XM.
Oh, he's a yeah.
Can't be any more wooden as him.
That's true. Yeah, he wasn't great.
Here's Pinocchio to fight.
But no, I like Dave Bautista. I hope that he gets a role in DC or whatever.
Tell you what, I
could
see him in True Detective. Has a very gritty feel.
Yeah, I could see him starting to do something a bit more gritty, go down that sort of route with it. That would be interesting.
Is he a muscle?
Yeah, pretty much. Does this new season of True Detective start yet?
I think it starts next year.
It's Mahershala Ali, isn't it?
Of course he is, because he's in everywhere.
Because he's amazing at this point.
He is amazing.
He's so good. But yes, so that was the Guardians news. But we were talking about DC. We were talking about Suicide Squad. The next thing we have on the docket is the Flash movie has also been delayed.
Yay!
So this film...
It's because Batman can be rebooted via...
Well, the filming was supposed to begin in... It was supposed to start at the beginning of next year. It was actually supposed to start way... I think the filming... The original director dropped out in 2016.
Jesus.
And then they've had... I think they had a different director, and now they've got a new set of directors, which is John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein. I can't remember what their past... I know John Francis Daly. I mean, I know him from Freaks and Geeks. I love him as an actor, and he was in
Why
Bones.
would you choose a movie with two directors?
Well, a lot of people do the two directors. Like Spider-Man and the Spider... Well, Avengers, the Russo brothers.
Yeah, but they're brothers. I feel like...
No, I mean, you get... I can't think of their names now that it's come to it, but the guys that did the Lego movie and now they're doing Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse.
Right,
You can sometimes, that's when you can have two people to look at it a different way, you can get some good product out of it. And these guys are writing partners that have done a lot of stuff. You get that like Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. They did like Superbad and all their projects.
You think of the CGI Seth Rogen just sitting in the corner
with
the third eye.
But yeah, so the release, because the movie's now been pushed back, now the filming is set to begin next year. It was originally supposed to have started at the end of this year. It was supposed to start a long time ago, but they've pushed it back to next year. It means the film probably isn't now going to come out until 2021. It's apparently gone through one entire rewrite, and it's multiple other rewrites along the way, but they've redone the entire story.
I think it's because they're doing Flash. It has to be because they're going to do Flashpoint, because they're using it to reboot the universe.
They want to keep Ezra Miller. But they want to, but they want to be able to, whatever they want to do, they want to retcon Batman.
They will keep Ezra Miller. They will keep Gal Gadot,
and they'll probably keep Jason Momoa.
They'll keep
Depending
Jason
on how well
depending
Aquaman
on how
does.
Aquaman does, they'll keep Jason Momoa. Cyborg was meh.
Well, it was stupid. The Cyborg movie's happening as well at some point, but it was the fact that they introduced this character that non-comic book fans have no idea who he is, and they introduced him in the Ensemble movie, and it was just enough people know who Flash is. They got away with it. The TV show is popular
Aquaman.
enough. You recognize the Flash. You recognize Aquaman.
Me.
You've watched
like,
Big Bang
people-
Theory.
yeah.
You've heard of him, but not many people know who Cyborg is or know his origin story.
I think that's where they went wrong. They should have done. They shouldn't have
should have
just.
done the-
They saw how well Avengers
Yeah.
did them. Like, right, we're
we
skipping
need
the
to get
origin
straight into
stories.
that, and it was so silly to do it.
Yep.
But anyway, this is it's gone through multiple rewrites. It was originally set to shoot in March this year, but it's been pushed back to the early next year. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, right now I imagine it's going to get more and more complicated because I imagine Ezra Miller is getting harder and harder because he's obviously going to be filming the Fantastic Beasts movies. He's a major player in the new movie, considering that one of the trailers revealed who he actually is.
I still haven't watched that trailer.
You still haven't seen that trailer?
No.
It's been revealed he is a key player and is related to a very big part of the overall Harry
Voldemort?
Potter universe. No, but he's well. I
Voldemort's
don't think it's a huge spoiler because they showed it in the trailer and everything. He's a Lestrange, so he's related to Bellatrix,
Bellatrix is
the crazy one. Yeah.
She's always in the
It's
Tim Burton movies.
Yes, yeah, it's Helena Bonham Carter.
Yep.
Yeah, it was played by her in the earlier Harry Potter movies, but yeah, he is actually an ancestor of her.
Yeah.
And it's the whole thing that that's why he was born of wizard blood, but then he got basically because his blood wasn't pure, he basically got dropped on the doorstep sort of thing, because that's what the Lestranges are. They're pure and everything. That's why they ended up following Voldemort. We're talking about Harry Potter now. But yeah, it's in the new trailer. We've seen it. He's a Lestrange and he is teaming up with Nagini. Hello, we've got a kitty cat making
Hi.
our way across the camera right
Hi.
now. Anyone that's on audio, all right, you're gonna do a little pose there, are you? Thanks for that. All right, you're gonna get down. But yeah, we see that. We see Nagini, who is Voldemort's snake, but she's in female. She's a woman form.
Yeah.
I that's all going to be explained. But basically, Ezra Miller is going to get harder and harder to track down going forward, because I imagine
They've waited too long.
they've set him up so much in this in the Harry Potter universe now that I can't imagine he's going to go anywhere.
I wonder if
He's going to get down.
I wonder
Sorry,
if they
just
know
looking at this
that
cat.
he's maybe not going to be on board.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, so that one is getting delayed. We this next bit of news that we've got.
What are you
really?
doing?
She's all over the place.
You little show girl, move.
Yeah. The next thing is it's continuing with the DC, but this is in the TV universe. This actually has a poster that you can show.
Where are you going?
She
Make
can't
your
decide,
mind
She
up.
can't decide where to go, and I
Where
feel
you
like she's going to jump down on something, and
She's gonna take a cable.
yeah, probably. There you go. She's gone. Everyone got a nice show there. Yeah, this is a poster for the Elseworld crossover. For which this is the big crossover that is happening
Oh, that's interesting.
this is the big crossover event happening this December between like Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl. Yeah, so Elseworld in the comics is like the comic line that they do when it's like stories.
Oh, hold
that
up!
don't-
I didn't realize he was actually.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So the
That's
Elseworld
an
in the comics,
interesting
they basically do stories that don't tie in at any set timeline. They can kind of do what they want. So this is going to be set in Elseworld, and yeah, we're going to get to see Stephen Amell in the Flash outfit and Grant Gustin in the Arrow outfit, which I think that's a fun way of doing.
That's a
crossover.
very serious Flash and a very jokey
Yeah.
Green Arrow.
We've seen some photos came out from set photos of I've totally lost the guy's name. It'll be in the next thing I've got, but he plays Superman in Supergirl. He's also going to be in the crossover event along with Batwoman. Batwoman is going to be in it because she's played by Ruby Rose. I don't think we had the image last week, but I don't think we went over it. But yeah, so she's also going to be in the crossover. The Superman outfit we've seen is a black Superman outfit from the Elseworld, so that's interesting. The last crossover they did was quite interesting. They essentially had Nazi superhero or Nazi
There was
supervillains.
another like
It
world.
was this world like
It
world
seems like they
66
might
or
go
something.
through like these multiverse.
That's it, and that's how they can pull
storyline,
Supergirl
yeah.
into it. This doesn't have Legends. Legends are doing their
Which is
own crossover because
Who's
Legends
Legends crossing over
Legends
with?
doesn't start until after all of this because Legends is like they run
The
during,
shorter one.
I think it's shorter, but it's also that it runs
During the gap.
Yeah, during the. I don't think it's even during. the
It's
but
like where Shield slotted in.
Yes, exactly that.
In mainstream TV gaps.
So Legends doesn't start, I don't think, until early next year, maybe. I think they're filming right now. But their crossover, as far as I'm aware, Legends is crossing over with themselves.
No, that's not a crossover then.
That's the way they're advertising it, is going like. I think they'll probably have characters from other things, but I think Legends are going to come across themselves because obviously timeline, wibbly wobbly, all that sort of stuff. So that's how
Doctor
their
Who
crossover.
gonna be in it?
I don't know. But yeah, so I thought this was quite an interesting one. Basically, yeah, Elseworlds. It's an interesting little poster. It's definitely piqued my interest. I actually have got caught up with Arrow and Flash. I loved the first episode of Arrow this season, and I just got caught up with Flash last night, and I'm quite enjoying it so far. The storyline, basically the villain that's setting up this season is a lot better than the Tinkerer. No, the Tinkerer, sorry, the Thinker. I always mix them up. The Tinkerer
is good.
It's
the Thinker's
Marvel.
Garbage.
The Tinkerer is the guy that makes the Vulture's weapons.
Yeah, there's someone else that...
Was there another Tinkerer?
Is it the Trickster that I'm thinking of?
The Trickster. The Trickster is the one
Trickster
that's
is
essentially
DC,
the Joker.
which is the Joker, which is played by Mark Hamill, which
yeah.
even confuses everything even more.
That was the most fun, because he also played him in the old Flash TV series, and they literally got him back to play him in the new one.
I feel like he just likes playing crazy people.
Probably. He's got the voice for it.
Yeah.
He's got such a good manic voice. But yeah, so that was...
The only thing is I haven't caught up, and it just feels like such a slog to catch up with the Flash. And Green Arrow is just...
I honestly think you could watch the last episode of The Flash and you won't feel like you've missed anything.
good.
I genuinely think you could watch that so that you get like the cliffhanger and setting up this next season, and the entirety of the Thinker being taken down is all in the last episode. Yeah, you can pretty much just watch the last episode and you'd be fine with it. I might have done that myself accidentally. I thought I was up to that episode and I started watching it. It was about halfway through. I was like, wait, which episode did I stop on? And I stopped like 4 episodes earlier. Didn't even feel like I'd missed anything.
Good, because that's probably what I'll do.
Yeah. So
Same with Green Arrow.
yeah, again, that season just not. But this season started, so again, you could probably just watch the last episode of last season and then jump straight into this season. But yes, the next bit of CW stuff is that they are currently talking about doing a Superman TV series for CW. They'll be bringing Tyler Hoechlin, who plays Superman on Supergirl right now. They're talking about this might not come to fruition. They've purely said it's in development.
They might
but
do
they're in
it
talks.
combined with Supergirl. Like they may take Supergirl away.
Apparently, would still be getting Supergirl and getting Superman. I feel like all of this is to set up for a potential Justice League show down the road.
The only thing is, CW are taking a lot on their plate.
They're doing a lot of it, but I mean, I think they're getting a lot of funding. It's all
List the DC movies, TV properties that they now own: Flash, Arrow, Legends, Batgirl.
well,
No, Batwoman.
Batwoman. I don't think it's officially that she's getting. Oh no, I don't know if they've officially said she's getting her own show, but it's inevitable.
Supergirl.
Yeah, Black Lightning.
Black Lightning.
I think that's it.
They'll
And
keep churning more out.
they're going to keep doing them, but this I think is just confirmation that we're not going to get another Superman movie, because they try not to have too much crossover. Like they tend to use characters in the shows when they're not going to be using the movies, and then if there's something going to be in the movies,
Yeah,
they
but they've
kill
got
them off.
Flash though.
That's probably the only exception to that rule. We've never
Yeah.
seen any Green Arrow stuff in the movie side of things, even though
Yet.
he's a big part of Justice League. No, not yet. That's true, but yeah, most of them, like for example, they were originally going to have Harley Quinn in Arrow, and then they
Irritates me,
removed her from that because she was going to be in the TV, because she was going to be in the movies. There's a lot of other characters that they've like bit by bit killed off from the TV series because they're going to move them over to the movies. I feel like they're now going the other way. They realize the movies isn't where the money is.
It's TV.
Let's put some of these in and do TV shows. They've also got the DC. I'm surprised that this is more CW because obviously that's Warner Brothers, who also own DC Universe, which is a streaming service. And right now it only has like 2 properties. It literally has Titans, which I watched the first episode of. Highly recommend. Really good. It's essentially R-rated CW shows.
Live action.
Full live action. It is a Teen Titans, but they're doing it full live action. Really, it's the one where the trailer showed Robin, and they were like, "Where's Batman?" And then he's like, "Fuck Batman." Like straight up, like it's like an
I
R-rated.
vaguely remember that trailer now.
Yeah, like the show very early on, you see a woman get shot point blank in the head, and then for whatever reason they just linger on her on the floor with her brains spewed, and I'm just like, yeah, just making use of the R-rated show, aren't you? But yeah, it's basically so far from episode 1, they've set up Robin, they've set up Raven, they've set up Starfire, and they've set up right at the end they set up Beast Boy. So they're setting up all of the Teen Titans as a full
So
live
now there's
action show.
one more left.
There's at least one more I think to come, but yeah, they've set up all the main ones. Beast Boy was literally in the last like 30 seconds he steals a video game. There's literally
Little
there's a
monkey.
security guard in like a Target or something like that, and he hears a noise and he goes to look, and there's a tiger, and it's like going mental, and he goes to shoot it. I think he opens fire at it, and the tiger runs off, and then when he gets into the woods and he transforms back into this Beast Boy, and in his mouth he had like an Xbox One game, and he's like yes, and then just runs off, and then that was the end of the episode. And I was like, you would if you had the powers though. You'd
Yeah,
sneak
you
into
definitely would.
supermarkets as a tiger and steal what you want.
You're flying as a bird, turn into a tiger.
Yeah, exactly.
Run away as a
you'd be
rabbit.
sorted. What have I got next on here? Oh yeah, this is the next one. This is another image that we can pull up actually, because this is the You switch it over.
Is it this one?
You could even just drop the article. Oh no, a little bit further down. Actually, hold on, let me switch back to that. If we go a little bit further down, is this the video? I don't want to mute. Basically, on the set of The Joker, which is the movie that they're currently filming, starring Joaquin Phoenix, there is. Have I got it on the right? Let's go big for this one. Basically, the Batmobile has been spotted on like around the filming location, but it looks like the classic like 1960s Adam West Batmobile, which is interesting. Like, I didn't know that that's the direction the film was going. Oh, hello, there's just Bryan Cranston taking his mask off at Comic-Con.
To digress to last week where we covered...
We looked at some Joker images, yeah.
I saw an article later on that week about why he looks more clown-like.
Okay.
So everybody's expecting, like, the Killing Joke or something like that is the basis of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The set images come out and everybody's a bit thrown back of, like, why does he look like a circus clown?
Yes.
From the article that I read, what they're speculating, or they may have heard something on the grapevine, is that the movie is going that direction because he's actually a stand-up comedian.
Okay. I think I saw something about that.
He's a stand-up comedian, which then has the accident, and I think they're going down, falling into that.
So what we might have seen is actually him with some sort of comedy routine.
Yep, comedy routine. That's why he looks like a clown, and then he has his accident, and then that's when he turns into the Joker.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm hoping that we're now yet still to see him as what we would class as the Joker.
I hope that they keep it under wraps.
That would be good if it's a big surprise and
if
you
they
think you're
manage
going in
to
to see
keep it
this. Yeah,
under wraps.
Yeah.
Is to him looking like the Joker. I think the makeup might be there a little bit, like the clowny makeup, not as heavy with the eyes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the theory why he's a stand-up comedian that has this comedy act.
Okay.
Of a clown.
I've got a trailer that's next, but I don't know if we want to. It's a new original movie for once, but it's a family film. I wasn't sure if it was something we wanted to check out or not. It's very much a kids film, but I thought it was quite an interesting take on it. And it's Andy Serkis's kid is the star, which I'm immediately interested in.
Does he look like Andy Serkis?
Not as much as you'd maybe expect. Let me switch it over.
Help me! Hey,
we can have a look.
him alone.
It's a tough world out there.
It's a British one.
And it's getting tougher.
Is that his kid?
Yeah.
I can see it a little bit.
Yeah.
Just needs to have mocap suit on him
The whole time.
Hello?
Yeah.
Is anybody here?
It's you that has to change.
Is Andy Serkis in the
Something
movie?
amazing happened.
No, I don't think so.
He hasn't gone the Will Smith route.
No, he's not immediately doing this first film with his kid.
You have to see what I found. There's something written on the guard. Put it into Google Translate. It means Sword of Arthur.
It's not often we get original.
Where that guy
Yes.
is that kid not from Where the Wild Things Are?
Which one?
His friend.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Not Where the Wild Things Are. The one that the guy that directs Black Panther.
There are
His
4
first one.
days until
No.
the solar eclipse.
You
when
look
Morgana
this
will
up.
enter the world of the living.
You're looking for Ryan
And
Coogler.
I'm supposed to stop her. That's ridiculous.
That could
I'm
be
12. I thought Merlin was supposed to be
Yeah,
an old
because
man.
Where the
He's
Wild
about
Things Are was
16.
Spike
An
Jonze.
ingenious alias.
it's not
in
him.
order to
It's an interesting
monitor
take on Merlin.
incognito. You will need
It's
to
the New
assemble a
Zealand
team of knights.
Arthur's
director.
knights gathered at a round table
What did he do?
so they
Thor
were all
Ragnarok?
equal
Who directs
and
that?
not-
Oh, sorry, Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
What We Do in the
Quick, guys, lift
Shadows.
up the flaps.
What we
Oh no, wait, are you thinking of you're thinking of the kid from
Oh my
Deadpool?
god, you're such a nerd.
This
no,
is destiny.
no, I don't think
He was
so.
in Where the Hunt for the Wilder People.
That's it.
That's
Hunt for
the
the
kid. That's the
Winter.
kid from Deadpool.
Is it?
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to raise
Because he pretty much
glasses.
plays the same character. He's like gonna be gangster. Like he's the same character.
Yeah.
Because apparently the director Ryan Reynolds was like, we want you to play that. I just thought it's an interesting, fun fantasy one.
The fact that it's original is
That's what interests me the most. Because we don't get enough like these big blockbuster original movies nowadays. They're always comic books, remakes.
definitely.
Patrick Stewart's also in it. That sells me on it. Patrick Stewart's attached.
But you can guess the mocap of this has been done in England.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Where did you learn how to drive? Mario Kart.
I feel it's going to be a bit on the nose comedy
It
as
might
well.
be. It might be. I don't know. I thought it was just
Don't
with it being
freak
original. I
out,
wanted to give it
okay?
a
Lady of the
chance.
Lake, please return Excalibur.
It's
Yeah,
interesting.
February next year. It's just interesting having an original movie because we don't get enough of them nowadays. So yeah, that was just the trailer that I spotted. I was looking through if there was any new movie trailers or anything coming, and that was the thing that I spotted. We have just a few more things left for entertainment before we wrap up the show. The first one is
No, I've done.
there we go. A photo that Jon Favreau has posted of himself in the VO booth with some of the cast of The Lion King. I know
can't
you're
wait.
excited for.
After
so
seeing Chef, I was sold on any Jon Favreau movie.
just seeing Iron Man 1 would sell you one. But yeah, I know what you mean. 'Cause
Chef-
Chef was like it was a movie of just love, and he obviously it
And
also
then-
makes you hungry as hell.
Jungle Book.
He did such a
So
good job.
you should just get all Disney
Yeah, just take
live
all of
action.
them.
Just here.
I don't know
Here you go,
who's
Jon
I don't know
Favreau.
who's making Mulan.
Jon Favreau.
Well, we could only hope. I know it's not, but no, yeah. So this is obviously Simba, Timon and Pumbaa, because it's Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen are playing Timon and Pumbaa respectively.
The director of
In
Mulan.
2020 we get Mulan. That's a
Yeah,
little,
but
little ways off.
D23 might show a bit more
We
about
might
it.
get at least a teaser.
Nikki Caro.
I do.
Caro. No
What she
idea.
directed in the past?
So
So we're just having a little look.
nothing that
No,
jumps out.
nothing that jumps out. Okay, well, that's interesting. She's obviously got some reason that that Disney have gone like, okay, you're the person to make this.
Yeah, Disney always have a bit. Everybody doubts their director casts.
Disney have done some phenomenal.
But
it's
they
also
always
the
get it on the
casting-
head.
the casting people.
Yeah.
I feel like they definitely Kevin Feige knows what he's doing as far as Marvel goes. I know he's not the like main person, but I imagine he's got a lot of say in the matter, and it's the same with Kathleen Kennedy when it comes to Star Wars. But yeah, that's I just thought that was interesting having.
But can we just take a moment to appreciate Donald Glover's beard?
He just straight looks like he's walked out of the This Is America video.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's his look now.
I do like that he went for a Disney jumper as well to go with it. Seth Rogen looks like he's just wandered in off the street, if I'm perfectly honest.
He looks like a weird uncle that you only see
yeah,
at parties.
Yeah, pretty much. Billy Eichner just always looks like Billy Eichner.
Yeah.
Billy on the street. And then we've got two more little bits to wrap us up. This is a new TV project that is in the work from Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat. It's going to be a BBC original, but it's going to go to Netflix. It's just like Bodyguard. Bodyguard was a BBC original, and then it's now on Netflix as like they're classing it as a Netflix original. But obviously, we know as Brits, it was a BBC show. This is going to be the same. They are the creators. Mark Gatiss, and obviously Mark Gatiss, probably I'd say more famous as the creator of League of Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Or the guy from the Iron Bank in Game of Thrones. And Stephen Moffat, obviously now I'd say more so. I mean, yeah, very famous for creating Sherlock and basically putting Benedict Cumberbatch on the map.
Plowing Doctor Who into the shit.
But also writing some of the best episodes of Doctor Who when he wasn't the showrunner, and then killing Doctor Who when he was the showrunner, in our opinion. But yeah, they're doing a Dracula show, but apparently it's going to be very villain focused. They're not going to be making Dracula.
Don't mind me.
They're not going to be making Dracula kind of a good guy, so to speak. I think they've Netflix in their press release outright said it's time for the world to be reintroduced to the vampire who made evil sexy. They haven't announced casting or anything like that. I'm intrigued. I like Sherlock. I think the last season of Sherlock was kind of crap, but they started well.
Anything.
Yeah, they started well. I don't know. I'll give it a go. They're doing the Sherlock format. They're going to do 3 90-minute episodes. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So let me. That was that bit, and we've got one last bit of movie news, which I think you'll be interested in. This is definitely a one to take a significant other to if you're not interested in necessarily this sort of musical yourself, because I always class this as the nerdiest of musicals. If you love this as far as musicals go, you're a big old theater nerd. But they're doing a movie version of Cats that was announced a little while ago. It's going to have James Corden, Jennifer Hudson, and Taylor Swift.
It has some big names.
It has got some big names in it. Cats is a phenomenal musical, but it's one of those ones that it's definitely one of Andrew Lloyd Webber's kind of what did I call him?
Android Lloyd Webber?
Android. He's Android. Yeah, no, that's the next version of Google Android. No, Andrew Lloyd Webber. I always think of it as kind of his nerdiest is the wrong word, but it's definitely you've got to be like a hardcore
theater buff
to love Cats, because it's a great musical, but the plot goes nowhere, and I'm interested to see how they're going to turn it into a feature-length movie.
I'm surprised with the names in it.
It's got big names and they're good
James
singers.
Corden
James
and
Corden's
Taylor Swift
got a great
and Jennifer
voice.
Hudson.
Yeah, I mean, putting Taylor Swift in there, but the new one that's joined it, this is the news, is Idris Elba is in talks to join the film as McCavity, the mystery cat, who was essentially the villain of the film. Oh, sorry, of the musical.
It's what he works so well as a villain.
Yeah, exactly. And he's already played a big cat with a Disney product, so it's perfect. He was.
This isn't a fetish that he's now discovered.
He loves playing a kitty cat. But yeah, shooting begins next month. I'm surprised that they're only announcing that he's in talks for this role when it starts next month. But I guess they do shoot everything out of order. His scenes might not come up for like a month, an extra month on that or anything like that. But Andrew Lloyd Webber has a lot of input in the project. He is kind of there as an executive producer or a consultant, so that definitely makes it. That means that if you're a fan of the musical,
you should enjoy this movie.
Yeah, exactly, because it's got big input. Kind of like American Gods season 2 has got a lot of Neil Gaiman. I think he's actually come on board as showrunner.
Can't wait for
that's coming soon.
Gods season. It feels like it's been forever.
It does. But yeah, to round us out of the entertainment news, we've got some new movies coming out tomorrow, Friday, 19th of October, 2018. Halloween comes out
Have
in
you
the
seen
UK
the trailers for it?
for Halloween. I'm kind of excited. I love the first Halloween.
Oh, it looks so good.
It looks
really good.
horror. And Jamie Lee Curtis seems like she's totally. She was on. It's a UK talk show. Graham Norton.
As soon as you said
she was on
like a UK talk show, I just instantly went Graham Norton.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
She was on that a few weeks ago, and she seems so into it. It's the fact that she's reprising her role from like 30 years ago.
It looks that right level of like horror, thriller, suspense.
But yeah, she's starring in it. Judy Greer's in it. There's a bunch of other people involved in it. Obviously, Danny McBride is one of the co-writers of the movie, which I think is very interesting because I like Danny McBride. It's interesting to see him branching out into like serious horror writing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that drops tomorrow. At least these are dates I grabbed, I think, for the UK. So you'll have to Google these. They might already be out in the States. Goosebumps 2: Haunted Halloween.
I never saw the first one.
It was all right. It was a fun bit of family fluff.
Yeah.
I don't think the same guy's in it again though, because it was originally the guy that went on to be in 13 Reasons, and a lot of other movies as well. But yeah, it's still Jack Black, and it's Madison Eisman, which I don't know her from anything else, but she is now I think one of the leads. Hunter Killer is also out tomorrow, 19th of October. I watched the trailer. It's Gerard Butler and Gary Oldman, and it looks kind of interesting. Yeah, it's.
I've not seen anything about it. I need to watch a trailer for it.
And then Fahrenheit 11/9 also comes out tomorrow. That is a new, more documentary piece. It's a Michael Moore movie, and it's following basically all the political stuff. He predicted that Donald Trump would be made the the 44th president. I'm sorry, Americans. I'm totally upsetting you right now, but yeah, 40-something president. He predicted it, and now he's doing a documentary. He's traveling the country, basically covering that sort of stuff. But that is a film. It's going to be in smaller cinemas and stuff. I saw it's going to be in a local art house theater here. Monday, the 22nd of October. I keep trying to say 27th. The Hate U Give is dropping in cinemas all across the UK. That is starring Amadla Stenberg, KJ Apper, which I thought was interesting. I only ever know him from Riverdale because he plays Archie.
Yep.
And Anthony Mackie is in that one.
I guess he's getting bigger and bigger from Riverdale.
He is. Yeah, I mean, Riverdale was a big success for them. And then on Wednesday, the 24th, so the day before the next Snatchy Buckles Weekly Update, in the UK, Bohemian Rhapsody drops, starring Rami Malek, Ben Hardy, and Mike Myers. Not Michael Myers from Halloween, but Mike Myers, the actor from like Austin Powers and whatnot.
He's in it.
Yeah. Well, he does a lot more serious stuff nowadays. I mean, he was in Inglourious Bastards. He's done a lot more serious stuff over the past few years.
I can't wait for the day that they inevitably reboot Austin Powers.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope he would never give them rights to it because I don't want.
Does he own them?
I think he does because I think they were characters that he created. I could be wrong. But yeah, Mike Myers is in. I don't know who he's playing. I think he's an agent or something like that he's playing.
Right. Yeah, that makes a bit more sense.
But yeah, Rami Malek and Ben Hardy are in that one. I think it comes out a week later in the US, like the 6th of November. I think that's the day, or 6th or 2nd that you kept saying.
Yeah.
But it comes out for us on the 24th, which is Wednesday next week. So that is the movie news. Now dipping in, I don't think we've had any tips or cheers or anything like that over the course of the stream. Has there been anything from messages?
No.
Nothing news to bring up.
Nothing news. A bit of housekeeping. We don't condone. If anybody did see in chat what someone posted, he got kicked out.
Okay, that's cool. I'm cool with that.
Don't condone that.
I'm cool with that. Behave yourself, guys.
Yep.
Behave yourself. We are a friendly show here. As a reminder, if you have watched and enjoyed the show, be it on Twitch live, on youtube.com/snatchybuckles, or as a podcast, head on over to twitch.tv/snatchybuckles. You can give us a follow there. It helps us out. It means that you guys can continue helping us build as a channel. We can do bigger and better things here on Twitch. We get more recognition. I mean, that follower number, as much as it is just a number that shows how many of you guys want to come back and watch stuff, it's a number that gives us more credibility when we're reaching out to things like sponsors and deals and things like that. But as well as that, if you want to support us, you can, of course, tip and share and all that sort of stuff. We'll read your messages out if we're doing it live. Otherwise, we will just thank you in the next stream. And, of course, you can subscribe again. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can do that for free. Just set up an Amazon account. Set up a Twitch account. Link your Amazon account to it. If you're not old enough to have Amazon Prime yourself, but you've got a parent that's got it, get it linked. It's not going to cost anything else from them. Don't worry about that. You're not going to be like adding an extra fee on for Twitch. It's part of the Amazon Prime base price. If you're not using it, you're actually just wasting part of that subscription fee that you pay either every month or every year. And
especially if you have it like you use Twitch. Like
if you actively use Twitch.
Someone that can't afford it and your parents do use it, like
exactly. You just link
benefits.
the account. You get the benefits, and then your parents also essentially are
quiet
getting
for
more
longer.
out of it. Have we got anything else that we want to bring up there? I see one message as we're delving into chat.
Yeah, one question from Ninja Part-Time in chat. Monster Hunter movie?
The Monster Hunter movie. I've been keeping an eye on this one. So this is starring Mila how do you say her name? I always butcher her name.
Who? The Resident Evil?
Yeah, the Resident Evil lady. I think it's her. I think it's the same guy that's directing it because she's married to him and she's in every one of his projects.
Every single one. And
yeah.
She'll have a lead role.
She is. I think she's the lead in it. She's already been posting pictures on Instagram of herself kind of cut. I don't know if you want to try Googling any of this. If you just search like Mila Monster Hunter and you'll come up with all that sort of stuff. I always just think of Multipass. I mean, I know she's been in all the Resident Evil, but I'll always just think of Fifth Element. We got
Djokovic. Mila Djokovic.
Is it Djokovic? I thought it was like Jovovich. But yeah, obviously it's not something that's said in our native tongue, so I think we're probably still butchering.
Yeah, we'll be butchering it.
But yeah, is there any? Yeah, she posted some pictures of herself looking all beat up for the Monster Hunter movie, and she's tagging it Monster Hunter World a lot of the time as well. So I think the movie's going to be directly linked to that plot line. I'm interested to see how it's going to go. So let's just pull this up. So yeah, this is.
Admittedly, the Resident Evil movies were
fun popcorn. Sit down, enjoy some action.
Yeah. I've still got a few of them to watch, which I will probably do because I love the first one. The first one is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you get to see a pretty lady run around and special effects and action and zombies and whatever else. And in this case, it's going to be monsters and big CGI elements. I
know it went down the route of like it would come out. There'd be a Resident Evil game. It'll come out. The trailer would be there, and it'd be a new zombie, and that new zombie would be in the movie. I wonder if they'll do the same thing with Monster. There'll be a new monster come out.
Could be a new monster,
and it'll be in the movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely, it could be. And as far as is there actually going to be another Castlevania this month? That was the other thing that was mentioned by Ninja in chat. If you're having a look rather than me trying to type on an iPad as quickly as I possibly can. Did Digital Spy have an article about this? Is it coming? Do we know? I'm excited. I loved season 1 on Netflix. It was a great. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you again.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Blessed me.
We got any news on this? Let me just.
It doesn't say. Oh, Netflix has confirmed it will arrive October 26th.
Oh, no way. So it's going to get completely abandoned until at least a week because I'm going to be playing nothing but Red Dead.
I haven't watched this first one.
You should check it out. It's a short season. I think it's.
It looks like it's 8 episodes.
Yeah, I think the first one was like 6 episodes maybe.
Yeah.
It's a great one. It's good if you like the Castlevania games or know anything about. Even if you don't, it's a great series. It's like that Western anime, so it's anime made for a Western audience, which I always think can work out very well. I enjoy shows like Ruby and things like that. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I did not realize that was coming. That's coming next Friday. That's crazy. So this Friday on Netflix we're getting Daredevil season 3, and then next Friday we're getting Castlevania season 2. Lots to look forward to on Netflix. That's good. I'm going to be checking out Daredevil season 3 tomorrow. I'm very excited for it. I know you're not caught up, but I am. The fact that they're dropping Kingpin and Bullseye into this season, and it's getting grittier and darker than it's ever been before. I'm 100% on board.
I wonder if it'll go. Is it rated 18? Is it rated R?
I think all of the Netflix Marvel shows are like R-rated, yeah. Because I mean, you see Kingpin remove a man's head with a SUV door, so
very true.
That is
very. I forget that Netflix can get away with a lot.
Netflix can do whatever they want. It's always odd when shows like Queer Eye are censored because
you see
they're not
going.
exactly like they're on Netflix to show, but they've started adding a bit of that thing when you start a show up now, and in the top corner it'll be like, this is rated for mature. This is like, they do have a certain rating, but obviously they don't have to abide to the normal ratings of different countries and things like that.
Rating.
Exactly. But yeah, I think that is the end of the show.
That is.
I think we've covered all the news for the week. We are rocking in just at the 2 hour mark, pretty much. A little bit under, because obviously we had the pre-show. So that's perfect. Again, if you're watching this on youtube.com/snatchybuckles, head on over to twitch.tv/snatchybuckles. Give us a follow. You can also come join the Discord. The link is in the info panel down there. Or Captain Buckles will probably be running anyway. You can just do exclamation Discord in chat. Get that link. Head on over. Come. Let us know what you think of the show. We definitely want feedback to let, if you like the format, if you like any different element of it. If you don't like us, there's not much you can do about it. But other than that, you can give any sort of feedback you want on the show. Constructive criticism. We're absolutely happy with that. Or if you just want to tell us how much you love it, I am 100% on board with that. Yeah, no, I think that's it. If you're listening via podcast, thank you very much again for doing that. I need to check the stats on the podcast stuff, but I think it's been doing okay. But yeah, thank you very much for that. Again, you can also head on over there. Like I say, you can subscribe, you can follow, you can help us out.
We'll have something that you want to mess with or join in on.
Absolutely. So we're going to be back next week. Right now, is it looking like it's the same setup?
It'll be the same setup.
It's going to be the same setup Monday to Thursday, everybody. Next Thursday, 7 p.m. BST. You can come and hang out for the Snatchy Buckles weekly update, where we will be going through all of the Red Dead Redemption reviews, finding out if we were right about where IGN rated the game when it releases.
Anybody joins Discord, throw yours in.
Absolutely, yeah. Throw it. If anyone wants to make a guess of what IGN's rating is going to be, or a Metacritic one, I'm going to stick with just the IGN rating.
We'll stick IGN. IGN rating. If you want to join in and participate, join our Discord and throw your answer over there.
Yeah, so join the Discord, head on over.
I'll pay you buckles.
Adam's going to be paying buckles. We got the buckle leaderboard now. That's on the channel. But yeah, I think that is it. I've really enjoyed the show. We've covered a lot of stuff this time, which is awesome. We didn't get cut off.
No, Mom.
No, my mum did not show up this time, so there is that. But yeah,
open the door.
She's just standing outside waiting. She was just politely waiting this time. But yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Catch you guys later.
See you later.
Bye.